weirdness begins. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
All right, here we go. Welcome to another week here on the KVJ Show. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
How did the weekend go?
Fast, busy,
Right? Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
It went by quick.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they did. They go by faster. Why is it the weeks get longer, the weekends go by faster? That doesn't seem right.
It's Monday?
I know.
is.
It just does not feel right. How did Rocco's performance go?
He did so good.
I knew he would. I knew he would.
It was really fun. I do have some audio for you. I have to get Denny's to pull it off my phone.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I had such great fun. One of my favorite things on the planet is to see little kids play instruments. My new motto, kids, put down the iPad, pick up the instrument.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. It's a good motto. What instrument did Rocco play? Did he play? Did he sing? What did he do?
So he sang first, then he did the drums,
Oh, nice.
and then he held the guitar and pretended to play.
I'll tell you what he does well. He does the rock and roll horns. Awesome. He didn't play one guitar chord, but every time he'd look down at his hand and make the horns and then put it to the audience.
Oh, okay. The devil horns, yeah. Like rock out, baby. Rock out, baby.
I saw his whole performance. He really shines when he's the lead singer.
Okay, that's his thing.
Oh, yeah.
He loves
He's
it.
the front man.
He loves
awesome.
it.
Okay, so we'll get that for you coming up here today. Got a ton of stuff to do. Welcome to the Monday KVJ Show. You can dial us up right now and watch what's going on here in studio on YouTube. Just look for the KVJ Show.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about today, Jaybird?
Well, I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys this, but happy National Fettuccine Day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I am a huge fettuccine lover. I love it. But here's my knock, and Sweet Denny's agrees with me. It kind of smells gross. It's one of those foods
Really?
that, yeah, some fettuccine can kind of smell a little kind of rotten or vomity. But it still tastes delicious, but the smell's a little off. I also noticed, too, Brussels sprouts. I don't actually hate those. Those are really good.
Yeah.
And if you put them with Parmesan cheese, and
Yeah.
they're delicious, but they smell like farts.
Yeah.
And Parmesan cheese also smells kind of like throw up.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts, I would put in that category that if they're made certain ways, one of my favorite things to eat. But if they're not, they are gross.
They are.
I love them or hate them.
You can cook them, and they're too hard still.
Yeah,
You got to make
yeah.
them soft. You got to make them almost not like they're a Brussels sprout, but they smell like farts.
Yeah.
They are tricky to make, and yes, you do have to flour them up with a lot of seasoning.
You don't see my point with the fettuccine smelling gross?
Fettuccine does smell like vomit sometimes.
Mayonnaise.
Lovely.
Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is good, but the smell of it's kind of foul.
I agree with you. I've smelled what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that'll be National Fettuccine Day. I'd
Okay.
like to go to Olive Garden.
Okay.
No one wants to go.
Yeah, because it's not like authentically Italian.
I've asked 5 of my closest friends, hey man, let's go to Olive Garden. It's on me. Dude, I don't want to go to Olive Garden.
Nothing, huh? The heck, man? What the
I
heck?
don't know. Or they fake the enthusiasm. Yeah, we can go to Olive Garden. Why are people always hating on the OG?
It's just not authentic Italian, and you're authentic Italian.
Apparently I'm not.
Yeah. Some Italians find that debatable.
They do.
They want to fight you.
What's on your mind today, Virginia?
Did you see this? I think this is a smart idea, and Delta Airlines is proposing that they start putting together, they currently have a no-fly list, but it's for terrorists. So what they're saying is, look, we want to have a no-fly list of all these people that have caused trouble on planes during COVID over masks or because they drank too much or because they got unruly and started to fist fight a flight attendant, and put them on a no-fly list so they can never, ever fly again on any airline. And I think it's such a smart idea. All the airlines would share their list of unruly passengers, and that would go on the no-fly terrorist list. Because you're basically a terrorist. You're holding up the flight for everybody on the flight that wants to fly, that knows how to be a civil human being.
Yeah.
And you're causing all this ruckus. You should never be able to fly again.
Take your butt to the Greyhound.
Yeah, you got to go Amtrak. You got to go Greyhound. You've lost your flight privileges because you've delayed everybody else by hours and hours because you had a hissy fit.
Well, to me, what standard, the only thing that would concern me about that is what is the standard to make the list? What do you have to do? Because, probably everybody here in the studio has at least once been drunk on a plane.
I think every plane I've been on, I've been drunk.
Yeah, and, maybe you thought you were going to be funny and you did a little something. It's not to the level of you derail a plane or anything like that, but, you've been a little bit mischievous, and then as soon as you come to and sober up, you realize you've been placed on this lifetime ban list. You're like, oh, my gosh. Think about if you could never, ever fly anywhere ever again.
I think this only should apply to those that you see removed by the air marshals or removed by the police. When those incidents happen because the person is not cooperative or combative with the flight crew, I mean, none of us would ever punch a flight attendant.
Right.
We've been drunk on a plane, yes, lots of times, but I would never strike a flight attendant.
Yeah, so if you get chucked off the plane, you're on the no-fly list forever.
Forever.
Is what you're saying if you were in charge.
Yeah. You're done. One and done.
One and done. Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little strict on that.
Virginia's laying down the law.
Delta agrees with me. They wrote a letter to the Attorney General, and they are saying, look, we want this thing to happen.
Sure. I don't blame them. I think there should be some repercussions for that. You should really think twice before you're going to go act a fool on a plane. Don't do it. I did see they had a list of the best U.S. airlines. Delta's number one. Yeah, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Is there a reason why they're number one? Do they serve better peanuts?
I think it's like a combination of on-time arrivals, not losing your bags, customer reviews,
delays.
Who's the ones that do the comedy?
Southwest.
They sound fun.
They are fun.
They were third.
I like that they still don't charge you for your bags.
Right.
Everybody else charges you for your bags, but Southwest still does not.
They had Alaska Airlines at 2.
I never flew that.
Yeah, I guess if you go to Alaska, they got to be very happy with their airline.
Alaska doesn't seem fun.
United Airlines was 4th, Allegiant 5th, American Airlines was 6th. And then the one that we often fly, Spirit or JetBlue, 8th and 9th.
Wow. So is Spirit considered kind of the Olive Garden of airplanes?
Spirit's kind of like the chicken bus in the sky.
It's kind of like the Dollar Tree of the air.
So they're the worst?
In my experience, I would say I've had the worst time on Spirit.
But you get what you pay for.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
And why is it so bad? You have to wait, there's
no
delays.
frills. Any of the kind of nice things like you're talking about peanuts and things like that. Yeah, I mean, they get peanuts that somebody else has already sucked on. That's the kind
used peanuts.
Yes,
that is not COVID friendly.
No salt left on these. Grandma couldn't chew them, but she loves the salt, so she spits them right back in the bag and they give them to you.
So their motto is, "We'll get you there."
It's not going to be fun.
We'll get you there, but you're not going to enjoy it.
It's not going to be on time. It's not going to be fun, but we'll get you there.
And you
We
get no
think.
peanuts.
We're going to get you there, ... we think. That's their motto. What I got on my mind here today, the Miami Dolphins have a new head coach announced last night. They've picked up San Francisco 49er offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel, and he's going to be the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Apparently, he's some kind of offensive guru. Should be kind of interesting because the Dolphins have probably been a little bit known for defense more the last couple of years over their last coach, Brian Flores. So we'll see what happens. And McDaniel is biracial. That was kind of the big deal with Brian Flores when he was let go and how few black head coaches there are in the NFL. So I guess,
the Dolphins were like, we've got to hire somebody of color because we look really bad right now.
at least halfway there. So,
Yeah.
they, they get
We
half
see
credit.
you.
Yeah,
We see you, Dolphins.
Yeah, they get half credit. So this guy never really played football too much himself outside of college, but he is from Yale. So apparently he's very smart.
Oh, from Yale.
Yeah, Yale.
Dang.
So we'll see. They say he's a big old football smarty pants. Also, they've got the Super Bowl prop bets that are out. This is kind of the fun stuff. This is the goofy stuff for the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday that you can cast a vote on. How would you guys lay your money on these prop bets? Will Snoop Dogg smoke on stage during the halftime show?
Yes.
That's a great. I don't know. That's great.
I think he will.
They say odds are he's not. 59%. That is the odds. Odds are he's not. So you'd be taking the minimal bid, Virginia.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. He's not.
All right.
59% say no.
How much you want to put on it?
Let's go big. Let's put $100 on it.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you guys start your own little betting here? Okay, what are you going to take on this one? Will Eminem be censored at any point during the halftime show?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Definitely.
64% chance they say that he will. That is the odds on that. Will there be a wardrobe malfunction during the halftime show this year?
You're gonna see Dr. Dre's nards.
Think so? Can you imagine that?
Justin Timberlake comes out and pulls a breakaway patch on his pants.
We
Yes.
can only hope that happens.
Oh, that would be something, wouldn't it?
And he's got like these nard decorative clamps on.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna see any nakedness.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
97% chance it's not happening.
Yeah.
That's where the prop bets are on that right now. And how many Super Bowl commercials will have a dog in them? Now, the line is at 6.5. So that means that there is a 57% chance it's under, 48% chance it's over. What do you think? Are we going to see a dog in a Super Bowl halftime commercial?
Does Snoop Dogg count?
It's a great guess.
It's a fair question.
You're right. Is it D-O-double-G that you get in that? I don't think they are. This is D with D-O-G.
I think you're gonna see more. I think you'll see at least 10 commercials with dogs. A
10?
dog will be in there.
Wow, okay. 6.5. Are you taking the over or the under on that, Virginia?
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot of dogs. I mean, Snoop Dogg, and then
Yeah.
there'll just be a lot of dogs.
Okay.
Well, dogs are getting jobs left and right now.
There you go.
The cat community's pissed.
They're easier to work with than actors.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Jaybird had another interesting weekend. So I got a full list of a variety of interesting things that went down in his life, but there is one thing that actually did not. Can you pick out the fake event, Virginia, out of these 5 options? 1, a little kid that Jaybird met gave him a creepy clown doll to keep. He got scolded for putting his trash out on the wrong day by a neighbor. 3, he butt dialed 911. 4, he accidentally left the gas from his stove on all night. Or 5, he got drunk for the first time this year and ripped his fancy TV out of the wall trying to adjust it.
Oh my gosh. I hope you didn't break that TV.
Okay.
Just because something falls doesn't mean it's broke.
Yeah. So what do you think of those 5 things? Which did not happen?
Kevin, they all sound plausible.
They do. This is a real tough one.
They all do.
Yeah, this is just, you're just taking a guess.
I'm voting it's a trick question, and they all happen.
They all happen.
He's a man of wild, goofy.
Calamity.
Calamity always surrounds this dude.
It does.
Okay.
Gosh, let's see. You probably did leave your gas on. I'm going to say you didn't call 911.
Okay,
I
you
hope
think
you
the butt
didn't.
dialing 911?
I know you've done that before, but I hope you didn't do that again.
I'm going to go with the getting drunk and ripping the TV out of the wall. That's the one thing I don't think happened.
Why
this
is
weekend.
that?
Because you've been doing so well, not having any cocktails, and for you to just in one weekend just jump right back into the game and be destructive.
Well, that's usually how it happens.
Maybe that's why he's off of it.
Have you seen his hamburger hands?
I mean,
I'm going to stick with that one. Which one actually did not happen, Bird?
I think Ralston, this is your best game. I did
I
not
know my bird.
I didn't drink this
You
week.
didn't.
I know my bird. Yeah, I can see the resolve in your
Oh.
eyes and your face. Yeah.
Everything else happened. The one I kind of wrote it wrong. I didn't personally leave the gas on. I had a couple buddies over, and they were all drunk, and they were in my kitchen. I
Yeah.
never used my stove, so it was Saturday night going into Sunday morning, and I went up to go in my kitchen to get something to drink because I was all thirsty, and I smelled something weird. I go, "What the heck?" I go, "I know that smell," and my stove the gas was on. It was one of those knuckleheads leaning on there.
Yeah.
It's kind of temperamental, I think.
Oh.
That can happen.
So
We
was
don't-
it hot in the stove?
It didn't know. It smelled. It smelled
Oh.
weird. It's all it
Yeah,
did was
you had the
smell. It
smell.
didn't feel hot. It just smelled off, and I know the smell of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And then poor Denny's comes over and lights up, and you know.
Yeah. What would it take for the worst to happen there?
It's a good question. I don't know how much gas has to go off. You see it all the time in the movies, and they'll turn the stove on, and 5 minutes later, not even that, a couple minutes later, they throw a match in there, and the whole house, kaboom, blows up.
Yeah, because it had to have been on for at least 6 hours.
Oh, my
5 hours. It had
gosh.
to have
Wow.
five hours.
That's
Yeah.
horrifying.
It is, but nothing happened. So I'm just asking, what does it take for that worst case scenario to happen?
Did you light up at all?
I don't know.
Just because he's not drinking.
Yeah, I didn't say everything's gone. Yeah, I don't know the answer. I know
I don't either, but it's a great question, and I always hear these things too, and I think it's different. I think it's the carbon monoxide detectors they have, but is that anything? Could that affect your sleep? If you have the gas going on, are you only worried about a fire or an explosion, or is it bad? Breathing that in all night.
Well, my dad made me really paranoid about it, to always check it, double check it when I'm using it. So I've been really, really good. I didn't use it, but I remember someone was by my stove and easily could have. All it takes is a little ass cheek to
Right.
It's quick.
We took the knobs off of our stove. We don't have any knobs on the stove anymore because it's a flat stove, and people would always lay something on top of it, and then you'd bump it on, and it kept catching. We'd put a box on there or whatever, and things were just catching on fire.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so we finally took the knobs of the stove. So if you want it, you have to take the knob out of the drawer to intentionally put it on.
But the witch asks a good question. Let's say the gas stove, it's been on for 6 hours. I don't even realize it. Denny's comes over, lights up as a refreshment. Is that an automatic, or does it take me
I don't
like a
know.
campfire in my kitchen?
Well, I don't hear many stories of it, and people are very careless, and there are a lot of gas stoves out there, so I imagine it's not easy to do. I would imagine that is a movie concept that they use because it's easy, and your house isn't going to blow up after 2 minutes of the stove being on.
Agree. We'd be hearing about this all the time.
Right.
There would be so many PSAs.
Yeah, so I wouldn't think so, but still, you don't want it to happen.
It's an uneasy feeling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you also butt dialed 911.
Yeah, the problem is I can't run with my phone in my pocket. Because what happens is
Who was chasing you?
I was just running,
You were exercising?
trying not to be such a fat ass.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It is terrible. I mean, I'm in bad shape right now, so running is rough. But if I'm on my iPhone,
Yeah.
I'll go into my code and I'll keep it on to change the song.
Okay.
And it's the same reason how I FaceTime my ex-girlfriend. I accidentally will bump into my. I don't know what happens. It goes into my phone thing, and a long time ago, I called 911, and it butt dialed there. So I'm running, and I hear, hello, 911. I'm like, ah! And I turned it off.
Dang.
And that's not the first time I've done that.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
You got scolded by a neighbor for putting your trash out on the wrong day?
Scolded. There's this one neighbor. She's always got something to say. If
Yeah.
I was putting a Bigfoot little statue out there, and she was walking by, she goes, it's uneven. It's not. She just always has something to say.
You always find something wrong that you're doing.
Our trash doesn't go out till I don't know. They pick it up in the afternoon on Mondays, and I was putting it out on Sunday evening or Saturday evening. So she's like, it doesn't go out till Monday.
Oh, geez.
Like, okay.
Yeah, they'll do that. These neighbors love to complain.
You need to snipe back.
You always got neighbors are weird, man.
Neighbors are weird.
Most of them are cool,
Yeah.
but the weird ones, the ones that always got something to say, are odd.
Every block in South Florida has one. I don't know how they find the quota, but there's always one on every block.
Yeah, you have an annoying neighbor. I have an annoying neighbor, and you have an annoying neighbor.
You gotta snipe back and assert dominance.
It depends on the mood. You're right, though. You do gotta snipe back.
I'm not taking that.
And a little kid gave you a creepy clown doll?
KVJ Nation, or was that Rocco's concert?
Okay.
And his dad and the little boy came up to me and said, "Hey, my son has this doll. It's a clown. It's creepy. He wanted you to have it." And he gave it to me.
Oh, that's nice.
Horrifying.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Somebody came and brought me a bottle of Kahlua. They're like, here, this is for your coffee in the morning. We know you need it.
Yeah, we had some fun KVJ Nationers come out
Yeah.
to Rocco's concert.
Yeah, they came to cheer Rocco on.
That's very cool. I see the photo on the KVJ Show Facebook page of him playing guitar with the devil horns up. Yeah. And he's got the overbite, too. He's biting down on his lip. Yeah. He's got the whole thing going on.
Oh, he's getting it.
Yeah, he's got the rock star moves. Okay, time for Suits movie review. He's going to be looking at Fast Times at Ridgemont High, a movie from the early 80s, big old stoner movie. Denny's highly recommends this stoner movie. Suits, what did you think? Did you like it? Did it hold up for you?
So I will say, out of everything I've watched so far, this felt the most dated. I mean, it just...
Yeah.
It looks old.
It looked old. It sounded old. I can't even relate to anything like in that high school whatsoever. It's so different from anything that I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah.
But you ever just see a movie and you're like, this is so stupid that it's making me laugh so much? That's basically what that movie was. It was sometimes, in the beginning, I thought this might be a little too over the top with Spicoli, but when he started going back and forth with Mr. Hand
Oh, yeah.
and ordered that pizza to class, that was freaking hilarious.
By the way, that pizza in that movie looks so good. It's one of the best looking pizzas I've ever seen in my life.
Movie pizzas, there's something about the way they do them. They always look so good.
You know, it probably tasted terrible, though. It probably had shellac on it.
Yeah.
All kinds
Oh, it's probably like glued together so it
Yeah.
looks all perfect.
Yeah. So if you had to give it any kind of score, what would you say?
I mean, I would put it probably around a 75. I thought it was average. It was funny. It was very, like I said, dated. There were certain parts where I just kind of was watching it like, okay, this is...
What
Yeah.
about the pool scene when the one guy got caught?
As soon as the music started, I knew that scene because I've seen that parodied 11 different times and had no idea that was from that movie.
Yeah.
But that was pretty funny, too. As soon as that started, I'm like, oh, my God, he's like full on just going at it right now. They do things in 80s movies that you just do not see anymore. The whole plot line toward the end of it,
Yeah.
it just, I was like, oh, wow, this is the angle they're taking with it.
Yeah. Now, is it something that you would recommend to any of your friends, or would you be like, I don't think you're going to like it?
If they're real like stoner-esque, I'd recommend it. I don't know. I think it's a little dated. I don't know how well it plays with my generation as well as some of the other ones. I mean, don't get me wrong. It had me laughing at certain points, and it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen, but it just felt really dated watching it.
I mean, it is dated.
Yeah.
But things can be dated and still play.
I still found myself laughing from time to time at it. It was not a bad movie. It was very average to me, though.
I always wondered about that part where we're talking about where the guy gets caught, doing something embarrassing as an actor, because he really goes for it in that scene.
Yes,
Are
he
you
does.
Embarrassed after you do that scene?
I don't know.
When it becomes an iconic movie and it's like 20 years later.
There you go. That's the one thing I've done in my whole career that actually
I've never seen that guy
stuck.
anywhere, so...
Oh, he was classic back in the day, Judge Reinhold.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how creepy is the point in the beginning where she first hooks up with that older guy? That was pretty creepy looking area. I'm like, this is where you go to take a girl to
Right.
this abandoned dugout.
Yeah, the guy's older. He thinks she's older. She's not. She's young. She's never been with a guy before. And he takes her to a baseball dugout.
Probably illegal if that happened today.
It was so creepy.
Yeah.
Definitely illegal.
Welcome to 80s movies. Okay, there you go. Suits' review of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. We're talking about the questionable things going on in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, an early 80s movie. But I'm telling you, if you did this in a movie, you'd be going, I don't know, is that, can you get away with that? I don't know. Virginia was telling me about this teenage boy car wash that goes on. And at Virginia's high school, the boys lacrosse team is selling these car washes. And Magnolia was telling Virginia the story about what it's all like, and apparently it's shirtless boys and a lot of moms that are out there getting their cars washed.
So Mags is like, yeah, Mom, you need to buy some of these car washes. And I was like, well, I go to a place already. I'm good. And she's like, no. All the moms are doing it because the moms, like, love the attention from the boys. The boys love the attention from the moms. And it's just like a flirt fest. And I was like, I feel uncomfortable right now.
What makes you feel weird about this?
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, some of these boys, they're like,
they're built like
17, 8, like, they don't look like boys, Kevin.
They look like men, but they're underage.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's very tricky, and you got to be very careful, moms. Because, yes, they do look tasty, but no, you can't taste them.
Did you grow up with because it seemed like there's always that one mom in the circle that was always a little flirty with the friends, and you're like, what's going on here?
Look, I can totally see how this could happen because Mags brings over like all these friends, all these kids, and half of them are boys, and all of them are shirtless, and they start flirting with the moms. And this can get out of hand real quick. I can totally see how it happens. If you would have asked me this 10 years ago, how do moms hook up with 17-year-old boys? I'd have been like, yes, how do they do that? They are disgusting. How do they even let this happen? I could never. Now I can see how it happens.
Have you ever had one of Mags' friends flirt with you?
Absolutely.
Really?
I have had 2 of them call me MILFs, lay it on.
To your face?
To my face.
Really? To
Yeah.
your face?
And I was like, whoa, this is weird.
How did you respond when they said that?
Well, I'm like, that's sweet. Okay. And I just removed myself. I removed myself from the situation.
That's sweet.
How did this happen with how did they even say MILF to you?
Two totally separate incidents, 2 totally different kids. It was just, we had people over at the house and we're having a party and the kids were having fun and, hey, Mags, your mom's a MILF.
Whoa.
Look, if you would have asked me how this is possible 10 years ago, I wouldn't have understood it. But now that I've seen it, I understand how it happens. Moms, you got to remove yourself from the situation. Do not buy the shirtless car wash passes. That is a bad idea.
What a bold statement from the kid.
That is.
Your mom's a MILF out loud?
To the mom. I mean, this is where we are. Hey, when I was a kid, we'd say it, but it'd be behind the mom's back. You would never say to the mom, boy, there's just no boundaries anymore, is there?
I blame TikTok.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
TikTok.
Wow. Right to your face, huh?
It's a different day out there. So just moms, don't feed the fire.
Could you imagine if it was the other way around? Hey, all these dads are buying the cheerleader bikini.
Yeah.
A car wash.
That they would be shut down in a minute. In a minute.
Oh, the CNN would be reporting on it.
Oh, they would be taking photos of the dads sitting in their cars with teenage girls draped all over it, washing it, and them enjoying it.
And all men would be blamed
for
it.
And then they would be canceled. They'd be fired from their jobs. It'd be all over. I can't even believe this really happens. To me, that's kind of crazy. You would think all it would take is one shirtless lacrosse player washing a mom's car, and then they're kind of ogling the goods, and they'd be like, all right, no, we need to shut this down.
I just love Virginia's response to being called a MILF. Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, that's sweet, honey pie.
I'll be going now.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make me
Thanks, sugar. Yeah. Wow.
Look, a compliment's a compliment, and I'll take them all day. Doesn't matter where they come from. Lesbians, young boys, I don't care. I'll take a compliment. But then you have to remove yourself from the situation, because then it's just like, okay, this is weird.
Also, don't let no shirtless kids in your house.
I'm really surprised this still happens.
You can't help it. It's Jupiter. It's Tequesta. They all just got off the boat. They're all shirtless.
Yeah, but it's a school-sanctioned type thing. It's the boys lacrosse team that's doing it. I'm really surprised that I figured that we were in the era where, I mean, everything from 20 years ago that was so fun is now canceled. I figured, I'm surprised this is still
holding on.
Still holding on.
Hey, Mags, your mom's a MILF. Has anyone seen my shirt?
Yeah. Your name's Brody, clearly.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, easily.
And you're not built like a boy. You are built like a man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brody knows that.
Brody knows that. The moms know that. That's crazy.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away. Cause you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
I don't know what the heck's going on over there with Kim and Kanye, but they are apparently having lots of battles about the kids and about everything and about custody and Kanye's upset that North, his daughter, is on TikTok and kind of does her own thing on TikTok. And he's saying that she should not be allowed to just do whatever she wants on TikTok. And Kim was like, look, she is creating and she is doing it under the adult supervision that I provide. We're allowing her to express her creativity because it brings her happiness. And Kanye is just going off. He says that he was accused of being on drugs at his daughter's birthday party. He was accused of stealing. He's accused of being accused of putting a hit out on Kim.
What?
I don't know what he's
What
talking
the heck
about.
is going on here?
Yeah. In an Instagram post, he said, Kim accused me of putting a hit out on her.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
This is escalating quickly. And this is all going on social medias for all of us to read.
Yep.
This isn't any kind of like well thought out behind closed doors conversation.
Nope, it's on the gram.
And you know who loves it? The head of the snake, Kris Jenner. She loves it, Kev.
I'm sure she does.
A couple of hours after all of this was on the Instagram, it was deleted, but everybody screenshot it.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a tactic they intentionally use because it makes it more dramatic. Like, oh no, we don't want you to read that.
Kevin's right. It's all, even the screenshots. It's premeditated. They know what they're doing. It's all Virginia. It's all a bunch of crap.
You don't think it's real?
I just
Well,
think it's
I think
calculated.
it's real, but I think they do that to say, okay, let's add more sensationalism to it by deleting it.
Yeah, it's real, but there's a level of strategy here.
And then I guess on Sunday, Kanye was posting videos of him and all 4 of his children appearing at some sort of church service in L.A. So,
Okay.
it's kind of all over the place.
Put it to the music, Kanye.
Did Kanye put a hit out on Kim? That's so good.
That's not real.
I need it.
It's not real.
No, that's crazy.
Well, Chelsea Handler had to be hospitalized and now has canceled multiple shows that she was supposed to be doing on her comedy tour. She told everybody that she's doing okay. She doesn't have COVID. She's not pregnant, but she's still hospitalized and did not reveal any more details about why exactly she was hospitalized. That's weird. And finally here, some good news for Brian Austin Green. I was happy to see this because Megan Fox is everywhere with Machine Gun Kelly, and they're all hanging all over each other and talking about twin flames and drinking each other's blood and whatever the hell else they do.
Doesn't Bag have a new
He does.
love?
Bag has a new love. So it's the partner that he had on Dancing with the Stars. Sharna is her name, and apparently they are together, they are happy, and now they are expecting a baby together. So Bag's not sitting at home watching Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly crying.
Yeah, I accidentally went through Bags' Instagram and I hated myself. I'm like, what am I doing?
Well, you just want to make sure Bag is okay.
Well, I clicked on an article and it led me to his Instagram, and then I clicked and I got it.
Next thing you know, you're down the rabbit hole.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
You did a welfare check on Bag.
He's doing great, Kevin.
He's doing
Okay,
great.
that's good.
He
Okay.
is.
I'm glad
He's
to hear
not
that.
crying at home.
Nice.
And that's what's going on in your dirt.
Okay, we got some celebrities having a birthday today, including Ashton Kutcher turning 44 years old. Chris Rock, the comedian, is 57, and Garth Brooks is turning 60, and apparently is close to getting his first ever tattoo.
That's right. I saw that.
Yeah. So there you go. He's waited till 60 to start getting yatted up.
Kind of takes the sexy out of it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, Kev. I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah. Couple other birthdays out there. Ariana is turning 10, hitting the double digits. That's from Darren Lane and the Fur Babies Fudge, Lola, and Rambo.
Fudge, great name for a pet.
That is.
Yep. Also, birthday shout out. My 22nd today. That's for Lewis. Happy birthday, Lewis.
Whoop, whoop.
Happy 8th birthday to our little artist and old soul Alani. Love you, the moon and back, mommy, daddy, and Luca. And there's a photo of her there with painting.
Ooh, she painted that?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Wow, you get it, girl.
And then cutting loose in the car with mom. There you go.
Aw.
Also, happy birthday to my son Jake, who's 24 today. So proud of you, love mom. That's from Leslie, who sent that in. Got a birthday you want to shout out on the KVJ Show? Just let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com. MAIL at kvjshow.com. All right, y'all ready to think fast? Bam, get that mind ready. Look out, it's coming at you. I got several topics. We'll see who can throw in a sensible answer first. We got Virginia, Jaybird, and Denny's all here to compete this morning in Think Fast. All right, first up, name a popular animated movie that starts with the letter U.
Up.
Bird! Bird, got it.
Come on, Bird. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, ukulele? Oh,
Ukulele.
brain broke.
Yeah, okay. Bird is on it here today. All right, next up, a dog breed that starts with the letter B.
Boxer.
Beagle.
Okay, Virginia. You're first. Boxer. Okay. Ties at one apiece with the bird, and she's such the dog fan.
Yeah, you love dogs. You should be embarrassed.
And I hate looking up. So it's weird.
Yeah,
My
right.
answers.
Okay, next up here, think fast. It's a state that starts with the letter A.
Arkansas.
Sue's giving it to Virginia. What was your answer there, Virginia?
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I think all three of us said that.
Okay. Big fans of Arkansas, huh?
I tripped on my trachea.
Okay, Virginia's up 2-1 on the bird now.
Don't look up.
Think fast. Something you can do on a boat that starts with the letter F.
Free dive.
What'd you say, Virginia?
Free dive.
Free dive. Okay, what were you saying, Bird?
Friends.
Do your friends.
Do your friends on the boat.
You can do your friends. I've seen videos.
Free dive.
I guess that kind of will work, and that could be free diving too. Okay.
So who got the point?
Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Get the point there on that. 3-1. One more, and Virginia can put this thing away.
Oh, man.
Let's go. What is happening?
Okay, here we go. All right, something you'll see at a wedding starting with the letter G.
Girls.
Okay,
Oh.
I'll go with that, yeah. That's the girls at a wedding. That's true, yeah. That answer would work for a lot of different things.
Just in life.
Yeah.
There's girls.
Okay, 3-2. Denny's, you got to get a point here
Oh, man.
pretty soon. All right, next up. An Ivy League school starting with the letter B.
Brown.
Bird ties it up, eliminating Denny's.
Can't think of any Ivy League schools.
It is tied 3 apiece.
Oof.
This is the final one. The next point wins Think Fast. All right, it's a type of cake that starts with the letter S.
Swiss.
What'd you say, Bird?
Sponge.
What'd you say, Virginia?
Swiss cake.
Swiss cake.
Yeah. Swiss.
What?
Swiss.
With cheese?
Swiss cake rolls.
Suits is agreeing with me. It's going to Bird. It's going to go to Bird. Better answer. Better answer. Wins it for you. Wow. Coming back there and holding on for the win. Wow. Well, what do you think about this? I was reading an article today. If it's not that we're paying enough subscriptions for the shows and movies we watch, now you'll be doing it for your car features. More and more car companies like BMW are going to start charging subscription fees for various add-on features. So it's not going to come standard with the car with a one-time fee. It's something that you would continue to pay for. And I would assume that these would be services that the car company can turn on and off if you let your subscription lapse.
Oh no!
What if you don't pay your payment or your service?
You can't have brakes.
Yeah. Your gas tank.
Must pay $1,000 right now for brakes as you're on 95.
That's how they get you.
That is how you. Okay, everything I got. They say, for instance, you would pay $5 each month for the ability to lock or unlock your car from a distance through an app. That would be one feature to pay $5 for.
I'm not liking where this is going.
But that's kind of crazy. Isn't that just a standard thing with a key fob? It always locks and unlocks. So what would you have then?
Is this happening because the car industry is hurting because of COVID? Because we keep on hearing how there's only 7 cars on certain lots.
Right.
Are they hurting with money and now they're trying to find ways of charging us?
I would assume so. If they don't have inventory to sell and you're not making sales, that I'm sure they're finding other ways with pre-owned cars that they're trying to sell, and that's a big part of their business. But yeah, I think it's the like the microchips, right? The superconductors or something along those lines that they can't get processed to make the new cars.
Not only does it sound like it's going to be more expensive, but it sounds annoying to deal with. You have to sign up for an app for this and that.
Well, it would be on top of just your regular car price. Yeah, if you start looking at it now, over the lifetime of a car, it's going to cost you a lot more money for things that maybe you just took for granted and already had. That, to me, seems like a pretty basic standard feature. So imagine now, they're just nickel and diming you. Now you're paying $5 every month just for the ability to lock and unlock your car from a distance. They say $25 a month would be a typical cost for the advanced cruise control. I don't know what that
is
means.
that? Oh, is that cruise control that monitors the cars around you?
Maybe.
I rented a car when I drove up to Tennessee.
Okay.
And it had that on there. So you set the cruise control to 70. And if the cars in front of you are going slower than 70, it automatically adjusts so you can't fly up on them and ram them.
Okay. Well, that's kind of cool, but
So you can completely not pay attention to driving.
Worth the $20 a month?
25.
I don't know about that. That's a lot of money.
Well, just imagine if you start adding all this together. You know, you think about all the features that you have on your car right now. You're like going, that's cool. I love this feature. And then you put a price on it. $5 for unlocking the door, $25 for the advanced cruise control. They say $10 to access heated seats. So if you like those here in South Florida, or I know there are some cars that they have seats that are air conditioned.
Yes, I have that in my car.
Save some money and just put ice on your legs. That's what I do.
Yeah, okay. That is a poor man's way of doing it.
You know, you're going to look like you peed yourself, right?
Oh,
ice melts.
I had a drink the other day. It was a big old thing of water with a ton of ice, and I took a turn, and it spilled all over my crotch. Happy accident. Loved it.
Different worlds.
Yeah, it's just really kind of crazy that they're talking about all this kind of stuff that you would have to do. For instance, even just your in-dash entertainment. That might come with a subscription to be able to get your Apple CarPlay.
You're gonna have to pay more while you're watching Netflix and driving.
So Apple CarPlay wouldn't just be a feature in your car. Now it would be an add-on that you have to pay monthly for.
It sounds like what they want to do is they want to think of every feature that you have in your car, and now that would be an add-on. And you would have to pay additional for that now.
Well, the car better be $10,000 then.
Yeah. They say automated high beams would be one of the functions that they're talking about.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
But
Those automatically go on and off when they see other cars.
But who gives a crap? You know what? I'll waive the fee and I'll just do my old school of, oh, hey, let me just put my lights on.
Yeah, and I guess you could, and a lot of people would probably do that. The thing to me that would be dangerous is, say, for instance, and this gets me sometimes because I'm used to a lot of times driving a car where the lights come on automatically, and you don't have to think about it. And then same thing for us. We had a rental, and I'm driving down 95, and people keep flashing their lights at me. I'm going to go, why is everyone so rude? And then I realized I didn't turn my lights on.
Oh, damn.
I'm jetting down 95
With no headlights?
With no headlights, because I just thought all cars turned on the headlights by themselves now. I don't drive a lot of different cars.
Anytime someone flashes their lights to me, I always think about the gang.
It's the popo.
It's either the popo or you always hear that rumor that it's the gang trying to
Initiate someone and they're going to kill you.
Yes.
I don't know if that's real.
Dog, I think it might be.
You got more of a shot of it being the popo.
I'm with you on that. I'm just saying.
But so can you imagine if you had a feature on your car like that where the lights automatically come on and you don't think about it and then you just let it lapse and you don't renew the subscription? How long before you get in the habit then of turning on your lights before you go cruising out at night?
It's ridiculous. That's not safe.
Yeah, it really is. So I just saw this. I'm like, gosh, this is really going to be the way of the world, and this is how they're doing it. People are getting into financial issues because of all the subscriptions that they have. My wife was just looking. She's like, did you order Peacock? I'm like, I don't think so. She's like, it's on here. I'm like, well, cancel it.
Oh.
I don't know what I must have done. I think sometimes, too, you get into a fit of fury, and you're just like, okay, and you agree to something, just trying to get to a show.
You are right.
And you don't realize that you actually have now subscribed, and it's been 6 months since you watched that show, and you've given them an additional $50 that you really didn't need to.
I don't like it.
I don't like
Well,
it
that's how
either.
they're getting us. Yeah.
No, I don't like it. I like to, if I want these features in a car, let me pay for it on the front end and get those features in that car. All this nickel and diamond is ridiculous.
You seem upset. You want to get some breakfast? It's on me.
Yeah. Jonathan wanted to know what company's doing this. In the article that I was reading here, the subscriptions from Business Insider, they cite BMW specifically, but a lot of other car companies are saying, that's a pretty good idea. I kind of like that. So expect to start seeing that in more and more car companies and in what you have, where you'll have to pay a monthly subscription fee just to maintain some of these services. So there you go. Yeah, and somebody texted me and said, yeah, Peacock is free. Yeah. Why I was paying for Peacock? I have no idea. It's like I just did a subscription for air. I'm not sure.
Peacock is free, but yet you're paying?
I don't know how it all happened.
Isn't there a Peacock Premium? Maybe
There is, but I don't know how I would have gotten that or why I would have gotten that, but it was there. And luckily, my wife, every single month, goes through all of our subscriptions and looks, because if she hadn't, I wouldn't have seen it, and probably 5 years later, I'd be like, oh, okay, it's cool. I just gave them $2,000. I didn't need to.
It's ridiculous.
It really is.
If somebody's done you wrong, it's time for you to sing along and call them out, call them out, call them out. You gotta call them out, call them out, call them out. It's time to call them out.
Okay, here we go. Calling them out here today. Who do you need to call out? Somebody's jumping on the bandwagon I talked about a second ago and said, yeah, I want to call out Peacock too. I just discovered the same subscription on my account, and I know I did not order this.
What the hell?
And then when I called to cancel, they made it like it was a huge deal. Now I hear it's free. What the heck is going on here?
How are they doing this to people? This has to be some kind of violation of, like, I don't know, tricking people. And there are consumer acts that keep this from happening?
Yeah, we might be getting into this more and more, because subscription is really the way to go. People are getting a subscription for everything because it doesn't seem like much. When you're talking $3.99 or $5.99, and people are like, oh, I can do that. But then let's say you're now doing 30 of those, and then you're only using really 3 of those.
Or like you didn't sign up for Peacock, but you have
Yeah.
Peacock. How is that possible?
It could have been operator error. Probably was in my case.
But it's trickery.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't like know what you were doing and they tricked you into pushing a button and
Yeah.
there has to be some kind of accountability.
We got Amon here from Weston calling in. We're talking about how now they're going to be doing subscription fees for added features to your car and things that you may have even taken for granted, like the key fob feature of unlocking and locking your car door from a distance away. What was your comment, Amon?
Hi. So I just wanted to let you guys know that a lot of the time these costs are from like a constant fee from them. So it takes money to maintain the infrastructure to support a lot of features. So like a lot of their app stuff specifically takes a lot of money to maintain.
Okay.
And so it might be a one-time payment for you, but even now it's a constant payment for them. So it makes more sense and they can get more money if they keep using a subscription service.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's not necessarily pure greed. It's just them saying, hey, now you guys have to go through the same kind of stuff that we have to go through.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you for that explanation.
Make no mistake about it, though. The mighty dollar is the purpose.
Yeah. Oh, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. Let me see. A whole bunch of other call-outs that we have here today, ones you've texted in. Somebody wants to call out the people that play the no-name movie game that don't know any movies. Okay, all right.
I want to call them out, too, Kevin.
Yeah, that's right. I got another call out here that says, I want to call out the people who smoke cigarettes right near the entrances to buildings or restaurants. I'm pregnant and I do not want to inhale cigarette smoke. If you need to smoke, do it near your car or further away. That is an interesting comment because a lot of times they do put those trash can ashtray things right by the entrance or exit to a building. I assume for convenience, but then if you're a non-smoker, then you're walking right through that smoke.
I mean, just assume everybody else is a non-smoker. And if you're going to smoke, just go where other people don't get it on them. I got it on me last night by this jerk off walking in front of me, just blowing smoke like a dragon.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's somebody on the 3rd floor that smokes a lot. And when they go on the elevator here at work, the elevator reeks of cigarette smoke for at least 20 minutes after. At least. And it sucks because if you're in that elevator, I keep on wanting to call it a refrigerator for some reason. When you're in that elevator, people will go in there, they think you're the one smoking.
Totally.
It sucks.
Okay. Some other call-em-outs here. Of course, we always get the traffic ones. Somebody wants to call out the moron who almost slammed into my car because he swerved into my lane without looking. Thanks to Lady Luck and the brakes on my car for saving me from what would have been a bad accident. Yeah, I get a lot of that driving in South Florida. Somebody else wants to call out the girl who hit my car last night while I was stopped at a light because now on Thursday I got to get my neck surgery due to her negligence.
Oh.
Don't play on your phone while driving. Other people will pay for your stupidity. Okay. Someone else is calling out their manager for making him feel not included in a part of management on a daily basis except to do the crappy stuff that he doesn't want to do.
Flip a desk over, send a message.
Yeah. And we got another one here calling out the floor company who is redoing my floors. They're 2 weeks behind schedule. They broke my oven. They peeled paint off my walls with your machines. You know who you are. Contractors out there, get your mess together. It's tough. If you get a bad contractor for home improvement stuff, it's a nightmare.
Or anything bad for any kind of home improvement. When I first got my house, it's very word of mouth. Oh, you got to hire this guy. He's great with ceilings, blah, blah, blah. That son of a biscuit broke my bedroom fan, never to ever be recovered again.
Dang.
Yeah.
You're flying fanless?
Fanless in my bedroom. It gets a little hot in there.
Kevin can't come for a sleepover. Kevin needs a fan.
Yeah, I'll bring them up, Virginia.
I'm going to get one of them old box fans.
Box fan. They still sell those.
They do.
Those still work.
Yeah, they're real convenient, too.
They're real quiet.
Yeah, they're not clunky at all.
Nick is doing a call out that a lot of people I'm sure would like to jump on. He said, I want to call out my apartment complex, San Marco, for raising my rent by $900 a month.
Whoa.
It was $2,085. Now they want $3,000
Oh my
rent.
God.
to rent.
It's disheartening. It's happening to my friends too. Their rent's doubled, and they don't even love where they're living. They
Yeah.
go, it's okay, it's a house, but to double it,
That is insane.
We are going to wind up with a big issue here in South Florida very soon because there are more and more people. I got a buddy that does commercial real estate. He's like, you would not believe all the high-end places from Wall Street and the finance places that are looking for space down here. And so
Wow.
you have a lot of the big dollar people from New York City more than ever before. And they've been down here for a while, but now they're really coming to South Florida. And the thing that's happening, it's driving up all rents. But here's the note to rich people. Who's going to watch your babies? Who's going to cook your meals? Who's going to wash your cars? Who's going to teach your kids? Who's going to do all this kind of stuff? Because it's getting way too expensive for people who don't have one of those jobs that makes 7 figures a year to be able to afford to live here.
So does that mean the housing market has been reset permanently? Because people keep, it's going to go back, but I don't know. It may go back down a little bit, but is it really going to go back down that much?
I don't know that it will, and I think that's kind of a possibly a separate thing where the cost of living and how much you're going to pay. When you start going to a higher end place, you think of really high-end zip codes. And, yeah, you can't get anything to live in there. But, you go to another smaller town in South Florida and you live there. But that's the thing that's happening now. Every small town in South Florida is kind of becoming like those zip codes. They say, and if you missed this story when I read it last week, you look at what's going on in South Florida, apartment rent increased 37% on average in Palm Beach County in 2021, 40% in Delray, 39% in Boca, 38.2% in Miami, 36.7% in West Palm Beach.
Wow.
I feel really, really bad for anyone who's paying rent and it doubled like that, or if it went up at all.
Yeah.
I remember at my old apartment, it went up $150 after the first year, and I was pissed off at that.
I was reading an article this morning in the Sun Sentinel talking about how many people now are sleeping in their cars.
Damn.
People are trying to find a way to make it work. Families are moving into homes together to try to, so where you would have a house by yourself, you now may share a house with somebody. People are moving back in with parents, and then other people are just saying, I'm out. And they're heading north, either in the state or to another state somewhere else where it's more affordable. They say Florida had the most rent growth of any state in the country in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 of the 10 highest rent increases in the country's most populated cities were in Florida.
Maybe the buying of the houses won't go down that much, but the rent,
Yeah.
you hope the rent comes down.
I don't know that it will.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't know that it will. I think that South Florida is forever changing, but that's just where I'm just saying the note to the rich people, you need to build affordable housing here in South Florida, because I don't think they're thinking about it right now. But one day they're going to look around and be going, who's going to cook my food? I can't get delivery around here. What's going on? Well, everybody had to move out because you brought all your rich friends with you. Where's everybody else going to live? So.
Rich friends drinking those $28 cappuccinos, Virginia.
28 for a cappuccino.
You know these fat cats?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That is a fancy ass cappuccino. There better be some booze in it.
There's booze and gold in it.
All right. Well, I would actually get that.
A couple other call 'em outs. Got some emails here. Tina said, I work at a restaurant as a host. Easy job. Yeah, sometimes. People point out the empty tables in the restaurant, and sometimes I just want to say apply for a server position. It's out of our hands. If servers have assigned tables and the other tables are empty due to having minimum workers. Learn to be patient. Even if you get seated, y'all do know that kitchen staff is sometimes shorthanded. Like, relax. Respect those who actually try to pull the extra mile for every guest.
You do got to rethink and adjust your thinking when it comes out to restaurants now. Look, I get it. You want to go to a restaurant, you want to eat quickly.
You see a table that's open and you think, why can't I sit there? There's not enough servers.
Yeah.
So they're not seating all the tables.
You just got to change your thinking a little. It's going to take a little bit longer. Now, that doesn't excuse horrific service. You got to know the difference between people who are busting their ass and they don't have the people to help, and then bad service, which does happen. But yeah, you got to change your perspective a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And an email here, which is kind of fascinating. Greta said, somebody has stolen both of my kids' identities and I want to call them out.
What?
We tried going to the police about it, but they aren't doing much to help. This has caused us major issues. Nobody can tell us how this happened, which is really frustrating. I just want to let your listeners know that this is going on. Does anybody have any advice on how to deal with this?
Oh, your kids. That's underage stuff. You got to...
That is crazy. Stole a kid's ID,
How do you even
identity,
do that?
And what is the value of that?
I mean, I don't know. Would the kid have any credit?
There's got to be a way for an advantage of why people do that.
That's weird.
Okay. If you know anything about that, you can let us know. 877-979-WRMF. Yeah, people are really now talking about the rent. Somebody said, yeah, mine went from $1,100 a month to $2,600 a month. I'm from Port St. Lucie.
Oh, my gosh.
That's such a devastating blow.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you do it? You couldn't do it.
You couldn't.
Yeah.
I feel very bad for you.
Yeah. Somebody else said because of the housing rent increase, I had my grandmother move into my house 3 years ago, and they increased her rent from $800 to $1,200 for a one-bedroom apartment. Yeah. So that's really it. Unfortunately, a lot of us are going to have to really rethink what we do. Somebody who's a realtor in Port St. Lucie said, yeah, there's practically no homes for first-time home buyers.
Is this because of Corona?
Well, I think it's a mix of a lot of things, but I think what we're looking at, first and foremost, Corona did cause a lot of people to work from home has increased, and it changed things in some of these cities like New York City. The policies that were going on there, and businesses couldn't open up, and they said, hey, if I can work anywhere, and if Florida is the free state, let's take it all down there. And now people are realizing that, and so they're jacking up the prices of everything. So yeah, in a sense, it is all related.
COVID taught people that you can work from home. It made people have to navigate and figure it out and be able to work from home. And I mean, where would you rather work from? Where it's Florida and it's free, or where it's New York and there's restrictions and it's cold and there's masks and blah, 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 blah.
And I haven't got the latest memo. Is it offensive to say Corona and not COVID? Is it?
I mean, when you said Corona, I just thought about beer and I got happy.
Yeah.
So you say Corona all you want.
Yeah, 'cause I know there's, some people get mad about.
It's not Corona's fault, it's Budweiser's.
I know some people get mad about, I don't know, everything.
Okay.
Tune them out, Bird.
All kinds of crazy stuff going on here. People just venting today. That's what we do here on Monday with Call 'em Outs. A lot of people venting about the rent and price hikes for the place where you live. Somebody said, yeah, my son lives in Fort Lauderdale in a studio apartment, no kitchen. He was paying $950 a month, and now his rent is going up to $1,500.
Whoa.
Now he's moving home till he can find something else he can afford. Somebody else saying, yeah, my buddy pays $1,600 for an efficiency in Miami. Not surprised. Actually seems oddly low.
That does seem low.
And somebody said, yeah, there's some new development areas where an investment company like BlackRock comes in and they purchase literally every home in the neighborhood, and they turn around and they rent them out.
I couldn't believe the place that I used to live at, Sandalwood. Not only are the rent is through the roof, they're selling them. I mean, I can't believe how much some of those are going for.
Do they charge extra for the rats, or are those like you have to pay more?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of rats.
Well,
And then we're hearing about the kids' stolen identities, too. Somebody said, yeah, my sister-in-law had her identity stolen as a minor. The people opened credit in her name and obtained ID. Every year when she does her taxes, they basically audit everything because her Social Security number is flagged.
Oh, my gosh.
What a pain. And somebody else texted in and said, yeah, if somebody has stolen your children's identities, you go to the district attorney in your city to press charges. I guess if you know who to press charges against. Somebody else texted in and said, yeah, I don't know about helping the identity theft, but preventing it. You can freeze your kid's credit and unfreeze it when they turn 18.
That sounds that sounds annoying, though, doesn't it?
But do that, yeah.
Not as annoying as having to deal with all the pain of a kid whose credit and identity got jacked.
What do you get out of that as the scammer? If you steal a kid's credit, what can you get?
I guess you can maybe open up stuff in their name, and I don't know.
Well, you have to be 18 for a credit card, right?
It's kind of weird that they're able to do that.
Well, they're using them for all kinds of different things. Janet in the Miami Lakes area, she just texted in. She said, last Friday, I got a young coworker that received a call from Border Patrol in Mexico. Somebody was trying to cross the border using his driver's license. He had his wallet stolen 2 weeks ago. He left it out accidentally in his car. And so people were stealing IDs, and they're sending them south of the border so people can try to cross on them.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's just another thing that they're doing. Crazy, right?
Ugh,
Here we are just trying to go through life and just, I'm going to go to Dunkin' Donuts, I'm going to do this, and all this kind of stuff's going on, and you have no idea,
Your
man.
license ends up in a different country.
What?
It is just crazy trying to stay on top of all this stuff. So I got Richard on here from Palm Beach Gardens talking about the identity stuff, kid identity stuff. What's your story here, Richard?
Hey, guys. Good morning. Now, I was just going to tell you guys when I heard that on my morning drive to work that when my dad worked for one of the counties here in Florida for 29 years, he was telling me it was like less than 10 years ago that one of the managers or like facility directors of like a building put his kids on like the payroll of the building he was in charge of. Like he put one kid as like a receptionist, another one as a custodian, and I think he got away for it for like 5 years. But adding that up, it's like his kids were making on paper $30,000 to $40,000, somewhere around there. So he he pocketed that for 5 years straight.
Wow.
And, it's crazy to hear this. It's like, how did no one get away with it, seeing that like 5-year-olds and 8-year-olds were working? But I guess in some counties, when you have 50,000 employees, and they don't have like a new system where like scans it. It's just people physically reading like, W-2s and whatnot, that it got overlooked.
Okay, so they're getting money off of this.
It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, there's a variety of reasons. Some people are saying, too, I've heard that some parents are using them to open up things like FPL and Comcast and using their kids' identity for that. So there's a lot of different reasons why people are using kids' identity.
I guess
in a shady way.
Yeah, Comcast wouldn't know, right? How old they are. They would just get the information if you told them, hey, I was born on this day. And
yeah, somebody said too, I guess when kids' identity is stolen, their social can be used to clean tax credit on their parents or whoever's taxes. So some shady parents are doing that to clean up their own messes that they've done. Yeah. So it's just kind of crazy. Yeah, some people are saying, I know parents who have stolen their own kid's identity and then screwed up their kids' credit scores.
We know somebody who had that happen to them by their own mother.
Wow.
She stole...
The mother stole the daughter's identity and ran up credit card bills, opened up accounts in her daughter's name. I mean, I
know this person?
You do.
I do.
You do.
Okay.
She hot?
You're going to laugh when I tell you who it is.
I cannot wait for commercial break.
Somebody else texted and said, I've been helping a woman find a one-bedroom. Every property has like 25 offers on it. She's been living in a hotel for months now. And somebody who does affordable housing, they're on a committee working on this issue right now in Palm Beach County. And they said to afford a one-bedroom apartment in Palm Beach County, your income must be $53,000.
Whoa.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
That's insanity.
There you go. So, somebody else wanted to call out the cranky cop at yesterday's Miami half marathon. We were 1 mile from the finish line when the cop stopped us to let the oncoming traffic go. When we said, we just have 1 mile to go, he said, well, you aren't winning any awards, so just relax.
But time counts, sir.
Yeah, dude, what are you doing, man?
Every second counts in a marathon.
And how do you know there's no awards on the line here?
Yeah, you don't know what age division I'm in.
Yeah, I was wondering, I thought that might be a little bit of an issue because they had the Miami Marathon going on. Of course, they started early, but they had 15,000 runners in that. And then they had the Dua Lipa show there at FTX Arena last night. So I was like, okay, I assume you hopefully have enough time to get everybody from that crowded in area there on Biscayne and then out before the Dua Lipa crowd comes in. But
I ran in that one. I ran the half marathon in Miami, and there was never any cars being let pass in front of the runners. I've never heard of that.
Apparently, if you don't get going, they just open the streets back up. Good luck. Now you're dodging traffic.
Come on, Miami.
Yeah.
You're trying to get a time over here.
Crazy stuff.
That's ridiculous.
Not winning any awards.
Yeah, you're not winning any awards.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
Oh my goodness. So this Joe Rogan stuff. Now, I'm not really that familiar with his podcast. I haven't listened to any of it ever, but
Okay.
boy, people are coming out defending him, and they're going for these people. People like other comedians, Whitney Cummings, other actors like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It just seems like Joe Rogan is getting support from people, and then people are quietly deleting that support because then everybody comes for them.
Okay.
Comments were put up in support and then quickly deleted by people like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
What had happened was they were supporting him, I think, for the
COVID
all the
podcast
COVID stuff
that he done, yeah.
And then someone put together the montage of him using the N-word.
The N-word, being transphobic, being anti-gay, being all these different things. And so, yeah, people were like, oh, this is who you support? And then everybody's like, wait a minute, no.
Yeah.
Even our boy Michael Yo, did you see they came for him?
Did they really?
Michael Yo put a post up, and he's a sweet sweet human. We've known him for many years, and he was one of the few people at Y100 that was actually nice to us. And he actually was just like, hey, this is my boy Joe Rogan. I'm half black, half Asian. He's always been good to me. He's never been racist. And they came for him. They came for him
Joe Rogan
hard.
made a comment. He addressed everything.
Okay, so let's hear what he has to say.
Okay.
There's a video that's out that's a compilation of me saying the N-word. It's a video that's made of clips taken out of context of me of 12 years of conversations on my podcast, and it's all smushed together, and it looks horrible, even to me. Now, I know that to most people, there's no context where a white person is ever allowed to say that word, and I agree with that now. I haven't said it in years. I never used it to be racist because I'm not racist. But whenever you're in a situation where you have to say, I'm not racist, you up. There's nothing I can do to take that back. I do hope that, if anything, that this can be a teachable moment.
Yeah, so, this is where we are now with our culture, that I think the Joe Rogan experiment here is going to be fascinating because he said some things that were way out of bounds, not just using the M word, but he reportedly also compared a black neighborhood to a Planet of the Apes movie. And so some of that imagery and the thing that he's doing is very grotesque. This is when he was a younger, edgier dude. Here he is a lot more mature and not doing that stuff, but this is where you just got to figure out where you are. And you're talking about a guy that's got a lot of money behind him. Spotify had just paid him $100 million to bring his podcast there. They've now deleted 113 old racially insensitive episodes of his podcast. Joe agreed to them doing that. But what is going to be the fallout, and then how are people going to feel about it? He's saying, hey, this is a teachable moment. I'm different. I've changed. But he does have that ugly past with the things that he said. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was kind of behind him at first, and he's the one that really flip-flopped, where he was like, okay, I've done a deeper dive now, and I'm polling my support for Joe Rogan.
It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Ugh, I didn't realize all the stuff he said.
Well, COVID's one thing.
I agree with him on the COVID.
When you
but,
start getting into race and all that stuff, people are going to back away.
Yeah.
And there's a research firm, I don't know if you believe their numbers, and this is what you'll see, but early indications from them, at least, are claiming that 19% of Spotify subscribers are canceling the service.
But then I saw somebody argue that, go, those are fake numbers and blah, blah, blah. And
I don't know that there's any basis for that whatsoever.
imagine that. This whole thing has made people fight on the internet, Virginia. People are as soon as we start talking, this is one of those polarizing topics. As soon as you bring up Rogan's name.
Well, and I think it's just, for each of us too, you might have to figure out where you're set on this kind of stuff. How do you feel about it? I've come out myself, no matter what it is. I'm big on teachable moments. I'm big on when people say, yeah, that was messed up. Now, if people start doubling down and they want to stand with that, I have a different attitude towards you. But once you're like, hey, I did something, I screwed up, I shouldn't have done that, and let me be an example to other people, I think that you should get some kind of slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, because I know you are a person that is against, and I am too. I don't like canceling people for saying stupid things. I really don't. If what you're saying, if people acknowledge, if people, we have a conversation about it, I don't like off with your head and you're banished to the cornfields forever. I
like for you to own it. I like for you to be an example to other people, because I have a kid. I have a 13-year-old. I have older kids that are 23 that they're still learning. I'm still learning. I still say stuff all the time, and I'm like, my gosh, that was a dumb thing to say. Yeah, but I like to be able to say, hey, I'm sorry. I said something, and I don't know where my head was at the time, and that wasn't right. I like for people to be able to own up to the mistakes that they're going to make, and people be like, yeah, okay. And it may cost you a little bit, and you may have to say, okay. But yeah, to keep piling on, and there's so many factors to it. When did they say it? How long ago was it? What was the context? What have they learned since then and now?
Well, Whoopi Goldberg, she's in hot water. She's banished for 2 weeks, and they're even talking about longer for her possibly.
Yeah, and she owned it, though. She came out and said, hey, look, I made some ignorant comments. I'm glad she did. I think people can look at what she said and understand why maybe what she said was off for many people.
I've made quite a bit of ignorant comments in my time on a microphone.
Plan to make more today.
If someone takes audio from me of 2004 and play some
Who
stuff.
knows what the hell you said in 2004?
Who knows what you say? You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, I'm still saying it.
Yeah, I'm not excusing bad behavior at all. I'm just saying people do say crazy stuff sometimes, and then they realize that was wrong. I shouldn't have said that.
So this is going to be an interesting experiment. That's really what the Joe Rogan story is how we kind of sort out where we are with policing, trying to be better, but also trying to be fair.
And it's not done yet. This Joe Rogan thing is going to take weeks and weeks to play out. And who knows? Will this eventually hurt him, help him?
Well, there will be a definite number that comes out of this on how many people maybe do subscribe to Spotify as a result, and then how many people cancel, and what's that net number. And there will be a net number 6 months or a year from now that you can definitively say.
This is it's just like the Dave Chappelle thing. Everyone gets all mad. There's sides, people defending, people not defending.
I already forgot about the Dave Chappelle thing.
It comes down to one thing and one thing only, and we all know what that is.
Money.
Money.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Well, Pete Davidson, a few years ago, publicly dissed the city of Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
But then for some reason was in Syracuse this past weekend at a college basketball game. But I guess Syracuse did not forget what Pete Davidson said 3 years ago. Because on the Jumbotron, they put the camera on Pete and they're like, oh, look, in the house tonight, Pete Davidson. And the whole crowd started booing him.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah, why would you go to Syracuse after you dissed Syracuse? You think Syracuse gonna forget?
Wow.
3 years is not long enough, Pete Davidson. He went on Twitter and said, thank you so much for having me and my friends in the building. We had a really great time, so peace.
Here's another one. Do you like Pete Davidson or does he annoy you?
I like him, but I don't know him that well. It's the same thing with Joe Rogan. Like, I just don't know their stuff. I haven't deep dove into Pete's comedy or Joe's podcast or any of their politics because, that sounds disgusting. And finally here, over the weekend, Jackass did pretty well. I was surprised. Jackass Forever is their new movie, and it earned $23.5 million, which that's pretty shocking.
In today's day and age.
In today's day and age, for a stupid comedy, for our kind of comedy, I was happy for them.
Well, Johnny Knoxville's like, yeah, it's going to have to be my last one. My doctor's even telling me I've taken too many shots to the head, but he keeps making money. He'll be like, all right, I think Johnny Knoxville's just going to die on film.
He's become a silver fox. Have you seen his hair?
No, did he let it go gray?
I thought that's what it looked like.
Okay, he looked good with gray hair.
Yeah, he does. He look good.
He's a good-looking man.
Yeah, he is. Okay, what do you do in your regular life that could be turned into an Olympic event? Somebody's texted in, and I totally get this. Carrying the most amount of shopping bags in one trip.
That is a thing.
Oh, it was, and especially when I was Big Kev, and we would just have tons of groceries in those plastic bags. It probably wasn't even safe for me because even though I was so big and strong and I could carry it all in, those bags were cutting off the circulation. I would go in with purple hands. Like, I think a couple times my hand almost just fell off because there was no circulation. I would probably have it be like, look at this, I've got 20 bags on each arm.
Purple hands, purple.
That's what I had. So is there something that you do that you think, man, if they turn this into an Olympic event, I think I could gold medal? Lots of comments on the KVJ Show YouTube page. Jimmy said, I think driving through Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade County. I'd drive through in a semi-truck.
Oof.
That actually would be pretty fascinating if they had, it would kill lots of people, but imagine if they had that for driving through that kind of traffic. Just like a slalom thing.
I notice I can quickly suck and swallow a cream orange sickle very quickly. And the pain.
Yeah.
Denny's, can you pull that first part of that audio?
Yeah.
Sounded a little,
I was like, where are we going here?
I just need the part up until he says creamsicle.
I'm able to put the whole thing on my mouth, just and swallow the whole thing in a very quick time. I'm pretty.
You've never been more attractive.
You'd do well at a bachelor party, sweetie.
But I can take the pain too. It gives you an ice cream headache, but I can take it.
You can do it, huh?
Yeah,
You power
very
through
quickly, all in one pretty much swallow.
Prove it.
Yeah.
I'm bringing some creamsicles in tomorrow.
Okay.
Virginia, you think you could medal in a laundry folding competition?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. All right, that's yours.
Okay, you bring the laundry, I'll bring the creamsicles.
Sounds like a mess. You're going to get popsicle all over my towels.
No, I'll be swallowing it.
Heather said, putting a diaper on my 7-month-old, it literally looks like I'm wrestling a gator.
That's amazing.
Yeah, diapering feisty toddlers and kids.
Oh my
That can be
gosh.
fun.
And if it's a boy, then you have a whole new issue. You don't want to get pee-peed on.
Yeah, right. Linda said that hers would be how many times you pee in one day.
Did you just quiver?
I did. I was thinking how many times I pee in one day. I drink a lot of water.
Your quiver just made my whole body feel weird. I could feel
Well,
that.
you sucking and swallowing made me feel weird. So now we're even.
Got a lot of weirdness going on around here today.
Don't ever quiver on the air again, please.
Stop saying you suck and swallow.
Janine said I would gold medal in napping. Oh, that's a good thing, right?
That's a great one.
Yeah, Christians would be beer drinking. Ann's drinking coffee. Elizabeth's would be cursing. Could you imagine that?
I would like to see her work.
Yeah. It's how you string them all together.
Yes.
Using creative ways to bring up new curse words even.
It's a talent.
I would get the gold medal in nightmaring. No one can nightmare better
Oh, that's
than
true. Yeah,
me.
night terrors.
Yes.
Could you watch that? Can you imagine watching that? And what I could imagine too is the play-by-play. And there's Jason Pennington. Oh yeah, he's definitely having a night terror.
Every night is like watching a guy live through Nightmare on Elm Street.
He's launched out of his bed. Oh, he's completely naked again. Oh, he's on the floor. He's on the floor. I can't tell if he's awake yet or if he's still having the night terror.
I would watch people nightmaring off.
Yeah. Oh no, he's just kicked his dog. Vicky said scooping horse poop faster than anybody else.
Okay.
Okay, poo shoveling contest. That'd be interesting in the Olympics. Crystal said fake laughing at my patient's jokes. Okay.
That's tiring.
She definitely does not find that one funny.
Fake laughing at annoying people that you don't want to be around. Ugh.
Because what happens is you start to kind of go through the motions and you're not fake laughing as good as you can and it's obvious. And you're like,
Kaylin thinks that she would medal in binge watching. Most hours sitting in front of the TV. That would be the most boring sport. And she's still sitting there.
Congratulations.
9 hours into this, and she's still just sitting there. Matt said, rush into the bathroom to poo after my first sip of coffee.
Oh, Matt.
And he's off.
man, what
Hope you have your first sip at home.
are you drinking?
Don't bring that in the workplace.
What are you drinking? Folgers/X-Lax?
Some people, they wait till they get to work, they have that first thing of coffee, and it causes them to unleash the bowels.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to dox this person, but
I will.
They get to the station.
It's a salesperson.
At 8:30, and by 8:45, they are dropping it like it's hot, making deals on the toilet. It's insane.
Loud, Kevin.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. It's 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. You can't go at your house.
They're talking about deals, they're pooping, there's noise and wiping, and it's a whole
It's
thing.
the first thing you do when you get to the work building.
I don't even go in the men's room, but I've had to hear Jaybird and Denny's and Suits talk about it so much. I feel like I've had a front row seat.
And the reason
This
why
guy is just, he's flagrant.
The only reason why I
He
say
is, huh?
something is because it's literally the first thing you do, and you're not getting here that early. Not at 8:30, 9 o'clock. This is not that early.
He's not a quiet pooper either.
Really?
No.
No, he's trying to make deals.
He's liberated, huh?
His mouth and his butt make a lot of noise.
Wow. But when you think you'd be getting ready to close the deal, I'd be going, so are we... what was that?
But what's odd is this is not a one-time thing. This is a pattern.
And he won't be on the phone. He'll be talking to the other people that are at the urinal, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
This is the offense.
Yeah.
Because he's pooping and he's talking to a guy that's just trying to pee and get out of there.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely need an eyes here sign at our urinal.
You're right.
Just get in there, look straight ahead, man. None of this. No, we don't need that. These are all some interesting thoughts pulled offline, the Mind Bomb site. Things that will blow your mind. Maybe you never thought of it, but you're like going, okay, yeah, now that you mention it, that is kind of crazy. One thing I saw is Nothing is on fire. Fire is on things. That sounds like something you could just get stoned and contemplate all night long, huh?
Did Denny's write that?
Nothing is on fire. Fire is on things. Well, Denny's has his own things that Jaybird and he do on the Weird Whatever podcast. So, yeah, he can. I'm sure he has. I wonder if he's ever thought that. Nothing is on fire. Fire is on things. I'm like, okay.
Dang, that's true.
I guess you're right. Yeah. Another one I saw said, who first decided for the rest of us that nodding your head meant yes and shaking it meant no? It is kind of a universal thing for yes and no, but where did that start? And who did it?
If that's what I think about a lot of this stuff. For example, people lick toads and get high.
Yeah.
How did that start?
Where in the world did that begin?
Did they lick a hyena's butt and go, oh, nope, nothing worked. Let's try this goat. Nope, didn't work. Let's try this
probably
frog.
like a person, Larry Licker, and he just went around licking everything, and you're just like, Larry, ugh.
Well, you know they licked some things that didn't get them high, and they were probably pretty gross.
When you come up with the list of the weird things that we all lick, yeah think about everything out there has been licked at one point or another. Another one says, a sincere I don't know is always a correct answer. Okay.
Yeah.
True. That is correct. And I think more people try to like look smart and they say make up a bunch of BS.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Why is it that you can master the use of your own microwave oven, but every other microwave oven you ever try is so confusing and ineffective?
Y'all, I've been at my house for over a year. I still struggle with my microwave. If someone broke in and said, get this microwave working right now or I'll shoot you, I ain't making it.
What an odd burglar.
Yes.
How many people know how to use their microwave other than a basic time, function, and start? I don't know that I do because there's so many other functions on there. For my microwave, I would need just the numbers and start stop. And that's really all I need.
That's it.
It's got about 40 buttons on it that I don't even know why.
When in doubt now, I just go, popcorn button.
For everything?
For everything. It gives me a good 3 minutes and perfect.
Another interesting thought. Have you ever thought about this? Why do you always seem to make more noise when you're trying to be quiet?
I am very guilty of that. Or if I'm not, don't spill anything. Don't spill anything. All I do is I start to shake and then I start to spill things.
As soon as you tell yourself not to do something, that's the first thing you're going to do.
Well, I hate when a cop is behind me because I'll see the cop and I'll go, all right, just relax. Don't start driving all crazy. And then I'll start, it's too much. I'll start to swerve.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Another interesting thought to ponder. How many of us have gone our whole life with some amazing natural talent for something that we've never even thought about trying?
Think about that all the time. Maybe there's a gift we all have, but we just don't know.
Because for the people who sit down at a piano and they can just immediately start playing, what if they never came face to face with the piano? They would go their entire life having this unbelievable skill that they would never even have gotten to try.
How do we know Virginia's not some fantastic fly fisherman? She never tried it.
Yes.
How do you know? You won't crush that game.
I feel like I could be good at fly fishing.
Yeah. You never know.
Maybe you just have a natural ability for it and you don't know.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
And maybe we just have no idea or we're not interested in it or we could be interested in it if we knew we were going to be good at it.
If only fly fishing didn't look so boring, I would try it.
It looks pretty miserable.
It looks pretty boring.
Yeah, well, we all have that one natural ability for something that would be better than anybody else on planet Earth, but do we find that thing?
That's a great question. And maybe it's something we should delve deep into within.
Yeah.
Look within yourself.
Yeah, maybe tonight's smoke session.
You're really good at smoking.
Because all the stuff I'm into, I'm really not that good at. I'm like fine.
Imagine you find this category and all of a sudden you ace everything. The more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know.
Oh, I mean, that's a Don Henley song right there.
Yeah, it's amazing. When I, meet my daughter and her friends and just hear them, they are dead set on, I know this, I know that. They're so in their positions. And then I talk to people my own age and like, yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea. How is it we're so smart in our 20s and so dumb in our 40s?
The confidence of youth.
Yeah.
The invincibility.
Right.
I even look back 5 years ago at some of the stuff I thought. I go, what? No, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's about, though, as a human?
I think so. It should be.
Tell me all the things you were wrong about. I like this.
I was wrong really supporting the dirt of the day. I should have really tried to cancel that way earlier.
Yeah.
You can't kill zombie dirt.
No, you can't. It comes back with a vengeance.
You can try.
Do fish get thirsty?
That's a great question.
They're in water.
Are you sure you're not high, Kevin?
Definitely. The people who wrote these, yeah, we're definitely high.
That's such a high question.
Yeah.
Me and Penny's going to be delving into that topic later on today.
All fascinating stuff. Let me see. Well, this is just an odd thought. Somebody texted in, yeah, being kissed while you sleep is one of the purest forms of love unless you're in prison.
Oh.
What if you don't want to be kissed and some dude named Roger from Port St. Lucie kisses Virginia while she's sleeping? It's the best way to be loved.
Yeah, it can be, but many times it's not. Mm-hmm. How many janitors close the restroom to the public for cleaning just so they can have an uninterrupted work dump?
You're right. That's when you have the power.
You do have a lot of power as a janitor.
You're right, man. And if you're a janitor with an attitude, you can screw people's life up. You could lock the door.
Oh man, you could mess with people.
You could.
Yes, you could. That is the power.
I notice here sometimes when I gotta go pee. Every time I gotta go pee, they're cleaning the bathroom.
I know. I hit
and
that
I have
too.
to wait for it.
It's the worst.
Well, guess what? They're not cleaning it. They're taking a work dump.
Yeah, they are.
Tricked ya.
And then you don't go in afterwards anyway. You're like, how does it smell like poo when they just cleaned this place?
They have to clean their own poo smell.
I guess they do. Have you ever watched a show you loved? It was amazing, and you can't wait for the next season. And when you tune in, you're just all of a sudden like, what the heck is going on here? It's just a writing team that was so amazing, actors, actresses that were just fantastic. And then all of a sudden they go from one of the best things you've ever seen to one of the worst. You're like, how did this happen? I don't understand.
I got one for me and the witch. I'm going to speak for the witch, and with confidence. True Blood. We loved True Blood, and then it fell off.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
Right about the time they started shape shifting, I was like, what the hell?
Fairies and shape shifted.
It was dumb.
Yeah, the show that I'm referencing right now is Billions on Showtime. And it was a really great show for many seasons. And it was a dynamic where you had this investment guy that was just a renegade. He, loved his hard rock music, and he was just that kind of guy. No rules, and he was breaking all the rules. And then the guy who was the lawyer was always going after him. And then at the end of last season, they got rid of him, and he's gone. And now, instead, the lawyer is going against a goody two-shoe guy who wants to do everything right. The exact opposite. It's just like watching people at their office.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what happened to Billions? I don't see how it's going to get. And I've only gone through the first 2 episodes. I just don't know if I'm going to go back. And this is a show that I've loved and raved about for a while. I remember, same thing with Bloodline. First 2 seasons, unbelievable. I don't know when I've ever been so excited to see a new season as I was season 3 of Bloodline. And that just was completely terrible. That was a massive fall off. And, you could probably talk about shows that have just changed so fast that you're like, what happened to this show? It got dumb and terrible all of a sudden. In fact, these probably would all be on the list. I can't really necessarily argue. And even if I haven't seen these, I know that people have said this. One person texts in the new Sex in the City, and just like that.
It is. So it's so weird. I feel like the numbers are probably good on that because a lot of people were like me. They could not stop watching. They hate watch. They could not believe the storylines they did, how much they tried to cram into one season of whatever the hell that was.
I saw today they're contemplating a second season. So you're right. To your point, somebody must be watching it enough that they're considering doing another one.
And let's not forget, Carrie Bradshaw, she killed big, y'all. The blood is on her hands. She never called 911.
Instead of running over and holding him, why don't you run over and hold the phone and call 911? Get the paramedics there because time is of the essence.
The writers might not like men.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Orange is the New Black. Another one somebody said fell off really fast. And there were a lot of shows that I noticed. Orange is the New Black is one. To me, it felt like it was designed. It was all built around one season. The concept and everything about it was, hey, can this girl ride out this 1 year in prison? And then it was very successful. And like, well, we can't end it now. It's so successful. I remember the first 2 seasons even were really good. And then after that, they just were trying to keep together a concept that wasn't written for this. And that's why I'm like, look, if it's not a multi-season show, that's fine. Do one season and call it good. It's when you have this mad success and then you're like, oh, we got to figure out how to make it last. And it's when they try to make it last, it doesn't work.
Well, if you have a show about a girl lasting a year in prison, and then that year is up, the show needs to be over.
They kept finding new ways that she had to go spend more time in another prison.
You got to wrap.
It got to be like, okay.
I was a little disappointed, and there were still funny parts in there. And I love this guy, I love the show, but Curb Your Enthusiasm. The last, it's run its course. It's time to. I mean, how many misunderstandings?
Crazy. I can't believe it.
Yeah, and you only watched season 3 up.
I got through maybe 3 or 4. Yeah,
they've done I think 10 seasons.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I just never felt too compelled to go back to it.
There's still funny parts.
Yeah,
but it's time.
Yeah, there's a lot more fat on it. Game of Thrones is one, and this will go down as a fascinating concept because it was when the books ran out that really the show started to suck. Because the guys who adapted the books to TV, I think got too big for the britches, and they thought, nah, we don't need the writer. And they're like, we can finish this off. And they found out they couldn't finish it off.
Well, you guys loved Game of Thrones.
Many people did,
and then you were so pissed at how it ended. Like, they ruined it.
They did what I see happening a lot. They took a lot of the villains and turned them soft, and they betrayed their character. All these badass villains all of a sudden started getting a heart.
Things they wouldn't do.
They wouldn't do that. I hate when they try to make villains have a heart. I don't want my villains to have a heart.
No.
They're evil.
Of course.
You love that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, make them truly bad guys. The show Heroes, somebody texted in and said, went from OMG to WTF in just one season. Okay. And some people are starting to say Yellowstone has dropped off for me. I got a couple texts on that.
Can I get an amen for Grey's Anatomy? I used to watch that all the time.
Still, it keeps getting renewed.
It got so crazy.
It's still on.
I know.
Mags watches it.
I know.
Yeah. Dexter's one that a lot of people talk about. Somebody said couldn't even finish it, and Google lets you know which seasons weren't even worth watching. And that's actually smart because I did enjoy Dexter, but I didn't watch those seasons. I gave up at a certain point, and I can't remember, it's like season 4 or 5. You can watch that, stop it, and do or don't watch the latest season. I've seen mixed reviews on that.
The Office is another one where it falls off horrifically, in my opinion.
And this is what I'm talking about. These are shows that don't gradually get worse or you just get bored with them. They fall off a cliff.
Steve Carell left, and it fell off a cliff.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I'm talking about, where you are so excited by the way the finale ends of one season and tune back in, and the show's almost unrecognizable. Anything else you want to throw at us, hit us up, 877-979-WRMF.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha-ha, fighting in the nude. Drunk people pooping in the street. Ha-ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Oh, these YouTubers out there doing their silly little pranks. I just look at what they do, though, and I look at what we used to do, which we don't now because you get arrested and sued, and we don't have that kind of pocketbook. But, man, there's this one YouTuber, 21-year-old Jason Sid. He's got like 2 million followers on his YouTube channel, and he just really is kind of a public nuisance. He just got arrested for making a prank call to 911 to report suspicious activity at a mobile gas station in Coral Springs. And when the police arrived, they led him to some coke in the trunk. Right?
Okay.
Uh-oh. Look out, there's some coke in the trunk. When the cops got back there, they lifted up a blanket, and what did they find?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola under a blanket. Get it? You getting it?
I get it.
Okay.
I've seen some.
Did the cops think the TikTok was funny?
Well, the cops arrested him, so apparently not.
This is an old-ass prank, too. I saw this back in like in 2014 on YouTube.
Yeah, that's kind of it. The video itself has more than 600,000 views. That was as of Friday. And it ends with Sid laughing, smashing 2 soda cans together and spraying them. The Coral Springs police said 4 officers responded to the gas station, and the fake call delayed responses to 7 true emergency calls for service. During the 45 minutes they were detained dealing with this YouTube prank.
Imagine you need the cops. It's an emergency.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a burglar in your house.
Yes.
And you call 911, and the cops don't show up for 20 minutes because they're at this fake cocaine case.
Yes. Now, Sid is facing a felony charge of misuse of a 911 system. He bonded out $2,500 and is on the loose, but he's done this before. In October 2019, Coral Springs officers arrested Sid on disorderly conduct and culpable negligence after he did an incident at the Coral Square Mall for a social experiment video where people were covered in blood and all that kind of stuff. And then you just keep in mind what has gone on in Coral Springs. They have actually had a mass casualty event.
Yeah.
Very close by. And so, I know they do these things for views, but, one of these days somebody's going to get hurt.
I blame TikTok.
I mean, TikTok is out of control. Did you see the other thing that's taking off right now? Pulling pranks at funerals.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I can't stand more, the over-the-top pranks that are really bad or the ones that are over-the-top fake pranks where they're doing, it's so clearly fake and whoa, can you believe the calamity? I'm not sure what's more offensive.
Yeah, the one that they got going on right now with the things at funerals, it's people pulling pranks or they're rapping, dancing, something like that. And some people say, hey, celebrate him if the person who's dead would have been down with it. There's no problem. But other people say, have a level of decency and decorum while you're at a funeral. Some have said that the moment served as a therapeutic way to laugh while coping with grief, but others have said it was crossing the line at what is appropriate.
Here's what's annoying. It's when you're at a funeral and you're making it about you. That's what's annoying. You're at a funeral. Hey, look at me, I'm TikTok, and oh yeah, subscribe, follow, like.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is my Uncle Jed. He's dead.
Yeah.
If it was really about Jed, you wouldn't be on TikTok.
Exactly.
Do whatever you want to do to honor Jed. And if you want to rap and dance because Jed would have loved it, do that.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put it on TikTok, I'm like, all right.
Well, just don't put here. If you put something on TikTok, no people are going to give an opinion. If you're dancing, acting a fool at a funeral, don't be shocked when people go, dude, stop acting a fool at a funeral.
Well, that's what they want. That's going to drive the views, too. People that are telling them that it's terrible what they're doing.
Oh, Kevin. I hate TikTok. And what's funny is I'm working on a TikTok video during commercial break.
That is the irony.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're an old man forced to make TikToks.
Yep.
What the hell has happened to your career?
That's it.
TikTok channel.
And all of our stuff gets shadow banned for some reason. We can't figure out that.
Someone told me, too, that's another old person thing to say. When your videos aren't doing good, old people go, oh, I'm shadow banned. No one's watching.
Right. They don't understand that just nobody wants to see
we
it.
literally got hit with community standards violations for multiple videos we put up.
And they further went on in the comments saying, and the old people usually double down about the shadow.
Okay, yeah. A woman in Canada found a naked guy hanging out in the trunk of her car last week.
Oh.
That's kind of
sounds fun.
crazy. Yeah.
Is he single?
Yeah, I believe he is.
Okay, well.
And the thing that's crazy about it turned out he'd been in there for 3 days while she was driving around running errands.
So this was his little crash pad.
I guess so, yeah. There's a video that goes along with it, of course.
Why are you in my trunk and are you naked?
Yeah,
What?
it's a rite of passage.
To be. How did you get in there?
I'm the son of the Pope. Can I put my pants on?
We'd appreciate that.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
That itself sounds like a fake.
It sounds fake, but there's really cops there, so I don't know. Were the cops in on
our
it?
first story was about a fake video where cops were there, so.
I blame TikTok.
I blame TikTok. Everything's TikTok's fault.
I'm aging out of Earth, and I blame you, TikTok.
Wow. A wanted criminal in Kentucky got stopped by police last week and gave them a fake name, but he still got arrested because the name happened to belong to a random guy who was also wanted by the police. Okay.
Don't.
A Home Depot employee got caught after swapping nearly $400,000 in real money with fake bills that he bought on Amazon.
Dang.
He did this over 4 years, and he's looking at up to 20 years in prison now for it.
You don't think the bank is going to figure that out?
Apparently not.
I'm surprised it took him 4 years.
Yeah. I guess not. I actually just watched a new show that was on Amazon. It was Reacher, and it was about that. And the whole thing was about counterfeit money. And they were saying if you go back, I think it was like 1990 or something like that. It was before they had the watermarks and those kind of things in it, that a lot of counterfeiters will make the cash and then they'll weather the cash so it looks like it's old and it's been around for a while. So I think that's still maybe a loophole and a flaw currently in our currency system. So old bills that are easier to counterfeit. The people who stayed at an Airbnb and stole a neighborhood cat claim they saved the cat because it had physical scars showing years of mistreatment and neglect.
What's the cat say?
Yeah. Meow.
The cat probably loves the people that stole him because it sounds like he's going to be treated better.
Well, I just found it odd that you would leave your cat in your Airbnb. If you cared about your animal, you're not going to leave it there for some family to come in. Who knows what they would do to that thing?
I'm not even kidding. I'm almost certain I got a cat in my neighborhood that's on drugs. It is.
Probably.
It's just kind of, I don't know. It looks like a stoner cat, and it's always bumping into things, and it's just a weird cat.
It sounds like Denny's.
There's new research that finds that medical crowdfunding hardly ever works. The study found that few GoFundMe campaigns over a 5-year span raised enough money to meet their goals, and less than 12% of campaigns raised enough money to meet the goal, while 16% raised no money at all.
There is a certain thing called fatigue, donor fatigue. And I think if a lot of us keep seeing, the medical stuff, if you have no ties to the person that needs help with their medical bills, I don't think you're going to donate. I think it's just hit the wall of fatigue.
It also depends, too, what kind of cause are you donating for?
True.
Oh, my daughter's got a car wash. We got to go to the championship in Orlando for cheerleading.
Well, that's not medical. So that's ridiculous. If you have a GoFundMe for your kids' cheerleader group, get your act together.
They have them. I see them all the time.
Get out there and make your kids do a bake sale. A GoFundMe, really?
There's a guy in Charlottesville, Virginia named Jalen Taylor who decided to buy over 250 lottery tickets, and every single one was a winner.
Wow.
Back in November, he bought 104 Pick 3 tickets for a single drawing and used the same 3 numbers on every ticket, 9, 6, and 0. Then those numbers hit the $500 jackpot. So he won it 104 times for a total of $52,000.
Wow.
And then last month, he decided to go for it again, and he bought 160 tickets with the numbers 5, 4, 2, and then won a second time. He walked away with $80,000 that time for a total of $132,000. And he says he just had a feeling about those 2 sets of numbers, so he went all in on them.
Wow.
I'm annoyed with myself. We're not doing the work enough. We need to be playing the lottery every single week.
I've told you this before. You need to sit down and really focus.
How can we
and
win?
See numbers?
Can't win if you don't play, Virginia.
That's true.
I play every time you tell me you saw a number.
Isn't there one that happens every single night? Can you play the ball lottery? The one with the balls?
Powerball?
Yeah.
No.
There's not one they do the ball every night?
I think there is a ball one every night, but the Powerball is usually like Wednesday and Saturday.
But I think that's the problem. I'm always only going for the Powerball when I should just be doing the regular ball. I just want to do the regular ball lottery.
You've never been a man of regular balls.
I know.
That's right.
You've always had extraordinary balls.
There's always been something unique about it.
We got to take this serious. All right.
Look, you tell me whatever balls you're seeing, and I always go buy the ticket, and we haven't won a dime.
All right.
Yeah.
We got to refocus.
You
Okay.
got to focus better.
Does it mean anything special when you have a recurring dream? Or is it just something that's on your mind that you haven't resolved yet? Or could it be something from the great beyond trying to give you a message?
I don't know. I think the jury's still out on this whole dream analysis thing. I mean, I think sometimes you can just have a dream that makes no sense and means nothing, and it's just your brain, like, showing a stupid movie.
We talked about this last week on the Weird and Whatever podcast. And Vicky, who I feel is very spiritually in tune with all this kind of stuff, she agreed with what I was saying. Sometimes, yeah, I think it's just a dream and it's just mixed up things going on. But then there's times where something special or different happens and you almost wake up with a different feeling or knowing. It's happened with my mom visiting in a dream, and it's happening with what's going on with this. It feels different than a normal dream.
So you're having this recurring dream about this missing child. and this is a documented case. Now, have you been spending a lot of time reading up on this?
I have in my life, but recently not so much. And it's weird. I don't know. I've always had a special connection to this case. It's a child that was missing from 1983. His name was Maurice Jefferson.
Okay.
He was taken from Fort Lauderdale and never to be seen again. And I've been having a dream where I am out at this kind of like a playground, and in the dream, I can see Maurice, but he's from a distance away. And the one that's sticking out to me was this woman comes up to me, and she goes, so I'm looking at Maurice. He's out in the playground, and she walks up, and she goes, so are you going to talk about Maurice? Because Maurice would really appreciate that.
Weird.
It is weird, and that's what I'm getting from the dream.
Oh, you just gave me chicken skin.
Yeah, and this is an unsolved cold case. Maurice has never been found.
Yeah.
It's a case that's always stayed near and dear to my heart back from the 80s, and he's in my dreams. Now, I don't know if that's something because I'm fascinated by the case, or is this something to where no one's talking about this case, by the way. I feel
Maybe Maurice wants you to talk about it.
somebody knows something, and if you delve deep into the case, there is some eyewitnesses who thought they saw Maurice getting pushed into a car.
You get so much of this now where with cold cases, just shining a light on it, that, yeah, people do come forward. There's new evidence. It's amazing how many cases are being solved now with just a little bit of a spotlight on them, because we're so much more connected now than we used to be when a lot of these things would happen, like in 1983.
What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, maybe the dream means absolutely nothing, but I'm over here on the microphone in the local area. I mean, Fort Lauderdale, you can absolutely hear what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Somebody knows something.
What area was it where Maurice was taken?
I know he went to Dillard High School, I believe.
Okay.
It was Fort Lauderdale, but now exactly the exact details I'm not sure of. I'm sure we can get them, though.
Okay.
Is it plausible that he was in a parking lot or in an area that he was pushed into a car?
Yeah, I believe that's what happened. I believe he was. I think he was walking a basketball practice, and he never made it. And then there was reports that they thought they saw someone pushing a bunch of people push him in a car, but they just don't know.
And how old was he when he disappeared?
I think he was 15. 14,
Wow.
15, something like that.
How about
He's
that?
a teenager.
Well, that would be, I guess, my one question. We don't have the answers here in this plane of existence, but I'm wondering how many spirits are unsettled. Because if you die because somebody did something foul to you, and then nobody ever comes to justice or an explanation is ever given, is that soul truly restless? And then does that soul have the ability to try to plant images in somebody else's mind? Because Jaybird would be perfect for this. He has an interest in cold cases. He loves murder. And he is on the radio that could get the word out, and maybe somebody be like, yeah, I heard about that, and I did see something once. It might help.
Yeah, he was 16 when he was taken.
16
years old. He was 5'11", 120 pounds. He had the nickname of Red.
Okay.
He was tall and skinny.
They said Maurice was very bow-legged. He had a mole on the top of his right ear and had 2 warts on his right wrist at the time of his disappearance. His hair changes color with the weather and may appear orange on hot days.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, like a chameleon.
Yeah.
That's
Maurice
crazy.
Jefferson, missing from 1983.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm dreaming about him, but I'm dreaming about him quite a bit.
Be amazing if there was some kind of sighting and something comes of it. Then what do you think?
Yeah, man.
Well, a lot of times what happens, these cold cases are cold because there's not turnover at the police station.
Yeah.
And then new cold case officers come up through the ranks and they decide they want to reopen Maurice's case. And then they start asking different questions, better questions.
Yeah.
More informed questions.
Well-
and then they get more close to solving it, but sometimes it can be somebody talking about it.
You're right. Well, even the Adam Walsh case, there was a lot of bumbling that went on with that case where you probably could have gotten better information if people ask the right questions. You're right. Who knows? If you look at it with a new, fresh set of eyes.
Which that's how a lot of the cold cases are solved.
Yeah.
By a fresh new detective that comes in there and says, wait a minute.
Yeah.
All I ask is y'all just Google Maurice Jefferson's story. Just
Okay.
put it on your radar.
Maybe you get somewhere. That would be amazing. And then at that point, I don't know what you think about it. Is it
I know.
something from the other side that is trying to get to Jaybird so that there can be some closure on this case?
Where was the playground that you say you saw him in your dream? Was it a playground you recognized?
It reminds me of Howard Park here in West Palm Beach,
Okay.
if that makes any sense. Now, that doesn't mean anything.
They have some playground equipment, but then they have basketball courts
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Somebody texted in and said, yeah, Mark Ruffalo, whatever you say his name, had a dream that he had a brain tumor and went and got checked out because of it, and it saved his life.
He had a brain tumor?
Yeah, and he had a dream that he had a brain tumor, and he's like, maybe, let me just see. And he went and got checked, and they're like, dude, you got a brain tumor.
Wow.
And they said, if we had known about this, you probably would have died.
Look, I don't know if we know everything about our dreams.
I had a weird dream last night that I bought this bicycle ice cream truck. So it was a bicycle with a ice cream like cooler on the back end of it, but
Okay.
I could drive around the neighborhood selling popsicles.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You like ice cream?
I loved my bicycle ice cream truck.
Girl, you need to get off that diet and let's do some breakfast today. On the bird.
That's what that means. Just got a really cool message that came in here. It's from Nathan from Loxahatchee. He said, I just wanted to thank Jaybird in Virginia for mentioning us on Monday's What Happened to Jaybird Over the Weekend. Said my son was the one who gave Jason the creepy clown doll, and my wife Kayla and I are the ones who got Virginia the bottle of Kahlua.
Aw, that was so sweet
Yeah.
of you guys.
Their kid was so nice and polite and sweet.
Yeah, he said it made our day to hear Jaybird talking about that on the radio today.
Aw.
We've had that clown in our car for months waiting for the opportunity to give it to him. And Lucas would bring it up constantly that he was going to walk up to Jason and give him the clown and tell him that the clown wanted to be his friend and just walk away.
And Lucas, the kid, had a Sasquatch shirt on.
I love it. Your goal was to creep out Jason, and you did it.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't tell because I thought he was just showing it to me, but I didn't realize he was giving it to me. So I'm like, do I give it back? Do I keep it?
What's going on? You did it, kid. You really spun him around. Good job.
He said every morning we start off with breakfast and the KVJ Show on YouTube and then get all ready for work and school. And he said those are the little things that really do go a long way. My son was in the Rock Band 101 group that performed after Virginia's son Rocco on Saturday morning. He watched Rocco perform and gave him a little bit of confidence that he needed. He was very nervous because it was his first performance in front of people, and he's been learning to play the piano for about 6 months. He's the exact same age as Rocco and is fascinated with Rocco because they're very much alike. So seeing Rocco up there singing in front of everybody really boosted his confidence, and he did amazing.
I just put a video up on our TikTok and our Instagram of Rocco and Klepto's daughter Layla playing the guitar. All my friends, their kids are playing in music groups together, and I love
That's
it.
so cool.
And it's the same stage where you and all your friends played at
Yeah.
Swampgrass Willie's. So it was
Yeah.
a very full circle moment.
I
Yeah,
just
that's
love
awesome.
seeing little kids play instruments. More
Yeah.
kids need to pick up an instrument.
No, absolutely. No, you really do. Where's music going to be if we don't have a new generation coming up?
My new motto, kids, put down the iPad, pick up an instrument.
Here's a little bit of the audio. This is your son Rocco singing on stage on Saturday. They were doing Creedence Clearwater Revivals. Have you ever seen the rain?
Panda told me that Rocco loves this band.
He loves it. Yeah.
That's so funny. Okay, there you go. All right.
They sing Complicated by Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
One of the funniest moments happened before you even got there, Jaybird. So there's a bunch of like video games and bar games and
Okay.
stuff you can play there at Swampgrass. But all the way in the back, there's a cigarette machine. And so Rocco doesn't know what that is, but
Okay,
his
yeah.
dad had given him some money to play the basketball game and to play the video games.
Yeah.
And so Rocco went up to the cigarette cigarette machine, didn't know what it was, and just started buying stuff. He bought a pack of Newports.
It's pretty hilarious.
He bought a pack of Newports.
Oh, he's got great taste in his ciggies.
And Klepto was like, "Oh, we got to put those in his sleeve. We got to put those in his sleeve."
The heartwarming moment, Rocco is singing, and there's still more songs to do, but the song gets done. He looks over at Panda, because I'm sitting down with Panda. He runs off the stage, gives Panda a hug, gives me a hug, and then runs back on stage to sing the next song.
That's awesome. You see more rock stars do that.
Yeah. Come down and hug their dad.
They should. Come hug their dad before they do their next song. Well, here on a Monday, how are things going for you? Do you have a little case of the Mondays going on? Just like, what is it with Mondays? Things just don't go right for me. Well, if you're saying that, you're probably not alone. Other people have got some tough things going on, and there is a website called F My Life that has people posting up things that have gone wrong in their life. So it's a good time to check it out on a Monday, see what people are posting up. Somebody said today, my friend told me that her mom died last night of a heart attack, and the first thing I could think of to say was, "Oh no, is she okay?"
Oh,
no, she's dead. But,
I get it.
Yeah.
If she's a Christian woman, she's with her Lord and Savior.
You're right. She's never been better.
She's
oh boy.
better than okay.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I heard that at my mom's funeral. I was like, I get it.
I get it. I get it.
Oh, your mom's in a much better place now. I'm like, yeah, I know. She's so happy today. I'm like, yes, I know. Thank you for the perspective.
I love the thing you came in here and said. It was a funeral for a woman that died of COVID and not a mask in sight.
Not one. Nope. Not
that
one
was
mask.
such an interesting thought, and you just had to sit and think about it.
Yeah, it was. There was definitely a lot of eye-opening moments.
Oh, funerals, when you lose somebody, there's so many awkward, uncomfortable moments, because some people really don't know how to talk to people or what to say.
No, it was very fascinating.
And people say the most messed up, weird stuff.
They do.
It is bizarre.
It's bizarre. It brings out a weirdness out of people.
Yeah, and we had, I think it was about 3 or 4 hours. We had that whole visiting time thing, and you're in the front and just
standing there.
Well, just 4 hours of anything. The
it's
numbers
exhausting,
alone, you're going to get weirdness out of 4 hours of anything you do.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was just one conversation after another about all the terrible things I used to do when I lived there.
Oh, God.
You remember when you shot out my windows? I'm like, no, that actually wasn't me. That was that was the whole day for me. It's like it was like people didn't even show up. I'm like, my mom's in there like, yeah, we didn't come here for that. And then they walk right out.
We came because we have a bone to pick with you, Alston.
I've got grievances for you, young man.
That's all it was. They couldn't care about mom. It was just,
So I didn't break the window. That was the Cox brothers.
Oh, wait, the Ralston boys back in town? Well, I got a bone to pick with him. Another person put on the FML site, today as I was eating breakfast at an IHOP, the old man sitting directly behind me started discussing every aspect of his spastic colon in vivid detail.
Wow.
Yeah. Old people love to talk about.
You got to keep your butt talk out of my pancakes.
I don't think he can.
Yeah.
I don't think he's able to.
No, older people with their medical conditions, that's just it. And they'll tell everybody who wants to listen.
Every detail.
Every detail. Every pill.
Yeah.
Every pill, every doctor, a doctor assistant they're going to.
Somebody else put, today I found out that the hot girl I've been flirting with on Facebook is actually 3 10-year-olds who create a fake profile to see how many desperate losers would try to hook up with her.
Oh.
FML.
You got catfished by a 10-year-old?
Like 10-year-olds.
3
of them.
Dude.
Or now I'm sure blasting you and exposing you on social media.
Yeah, is Chris Hansen going to show up at your door?
Oh, man. Someone else said, today my daughter brought her new boyfriend over for dinner. I realize now why she said that we would get along great. We graduated high school together.
Oh, no.
FML.
Oh, boy.
How you feeling about that, Virginia?
I'm going to have a big problem with that.
Magnolia is 18 years old, and she brings home some guy you went to school with out in Louisiana.
That guy's good as dead.
You're taking him out, huh?
Oh, totally.
Oh, what would you do?
I think I have to.
Caitlin's dating some dude from Logan, Ohio.
And he's 48.
Yeah, that'd be tough. It'd be tough. I don't know that I would say anything. I don't know.
You would say something to us. You couldn't.
Oh,
hold
I'd say
that
to
in.
you guys. Oh, no doubt. On the radio. Yeah, it's my therapy. I'd definitely be going off here on the radio. But yeah, to her, oh man, That'd be tough.
You're
though.
right. What can you do? They're an
Yeah,
adult.
I know. Absolutely.
Well, there's a lot you can do. Give me a sock full of nickels. Let me go to town on this guy's face.
She won't want him after you get finished with
Yeah,
him.
I'm going to bang him up real
It's
good.
gonna be damaged goods. Someone else on the FML site said, today I just got home from a wedding and cried for about 2 straight hours. The bride was my widowed stepmother and the groom was my ex-boyfriend. We only split up 4 months ago, FML.
Boy, there's a lot to unpack there.
There
Your
is.
boyfriend and your stepmom?
Widowed stepmom and the groom was my ex-boyfriend.
And you only broke up with him
4 months ago.
And they're getting married?
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's messed up, man.
People are weird, man.
That relationship ain't gonna last.
There are some the parts where I'm from and down a little bit south of me, man, you've got some messed up family situations.
Kind of like the Ozark?
That
where
kind of
the
stuff
young
where
kids dating a
they're-
68-year-old woman?
especially in a small town too, the swapping off gets really weird because when you got a very small pool to pick from, you'll have that exact kind of scenario play out more than you would think. And
Overlap.
yeah, it's just and you're like, wait, they're what? They're their stepmom and their
People do have a good question, though. Why the hell would you go to that wedding?
Yeah.
Why would you go?
I know.
It was your stepmom anyway. What do you care about
Right.
her? And then what do you care about the fact that she's marrying your ex-boyfriend from 4 months ago?
I
You
think
only-
so too.
You go there
Yeah.
to make a scene, is what you do.
You go there to light the place on fire
Yeah.
With a
I
bag
would
of
think
nickels.
so.
with a sock of nickels.
Today, my girlfriend tried to look at my phone and I turned it away from her, and now she's convinced that I'm cheating on her. In reality, I'm too embarrassed to admit it's because Facebook is showing me nonstop ads for laxatives after I ordered some 2 days ago. FML.
Come clean, dude.
Yeah, I guess it's
Just give her your phone.
It's better to have poop problems, right, than to be cheating.
Yeah, and
Yes.
just because you got
Yeah.
the ad on there doesn't necessarily mean you're crapping yourself right this second.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it sounds like he'd like to be. He bought laxatives.
He's trying.
He's trying to crap himself. Ain't nothing coming out.
Doing the best he can. So what do we think are the grossest words that we have in the English language? The New York Post did a poll on this, and with all the votes getting almost 10,000, the number one grossest word, according to their readers, is the word puss.
Ugh, it is rough.
Yeah. They have that as the number one grossest word. It is a tough one to hear. When people talk about, oh, yeah, this wound got puffs in it. Number two on the list was phlegm.
It's rough.
I was right behind pus. Then you had seepage.
Ugh.
Moist made it.
I know moist gets a lot of bad around it.
Yeah.
I don't hate moist anymore. There's so many great moist cakes I love to eat.
Oh, it is. When I think Duncan Hines, first word, moist.
Ooh.
Fester is one of the grossest words. 7,000 plus votes on that one.
Fester, you feeling that one?
It's not that bad.
It's not as bad as pus or phlegm.
It's not.
Yes.
Mucus is up there. Basically anything that's a bodily fluid works. Ooze is because you're always thinking about something oozing from some orifice. Putrid and then curd. Those are the top vote getters.
I mean,
Cheese curd, though, has to be one of the nicest things you can ever encounter.
but it's because it rhymes with something that makes a cheese, it starts with a T.
Yeah. That's why
That's why. Curd rhymes
Oh.
yeah. You know. Right. Okay.
We can't say that on the radio?
with, I don't know. I never know. I feel like the line's always
Oh, I've
changing.
definitely said that. A lot.
You said it before and you've been scolded, but that was a long time ago.
I mean, scolding never stopped me.
No. It just encourages Virginia.
I'm like, ooh, let me put that on the list of things to say more.
She's been scolded the most for things she said on the air.
That's just what she does. A couple nice little stories here. Big shout out to Annette Goodyear. She is a crossing guard in Maryland that pushed a kid out of the way of an oncoming car on Friday.
I saw this video and she got hit.
Yeah, she did. There's
Save the
footage
kid,
of it.
Jaybird.
I love that.
Yeah.
Not that she got hit. I just love the fact that she sacrificed and saved somebody.
And luckily, she's going to be okay. But you talk about, man, putting your life on the line for the kids that you care about.
That's a hero.
Yeah.
You hope you would do it for somebody, don't you? You hope if there was a kid there, you'd jump in front of the car and save the kid.
I know we would.
And
for a kid.
This is also kind of a cool story, too. This 70-year-old woman, Carissa Schaefer, she was celebrating her birthday at Disney, and she was posing for a picture with 3 grandkids. And then all of a sudden, there is some other people that come up and get in the photo with her, and she starts looking around and realizing it's her entire family. 15 other people joined the photo, and they all surprised her there at Disney and all got into this one group family photo. She had no idea they were even going to be there.
No.
Yeah. And
that's how you go TikTok famous.
Yeah, nobody knew this was happening. There's no mass text message. Hey, make sure you bring Uncle Bob too. Oh, Uncle Bob's coming.
I think they all knew. She didn't. So she starts screaming and crying.
Oh, y'all got Grandma. It's funny till y'all give Grandma a heart attack.
Oh, that would have been a twist we didn't see coming, huh?
Now you definitely go viral.
Yeah.
That's
that
a
would have been something.
A viral viral.
A viral.
A viral video. All right, we got the After the Show podcast going to be coming up here in just about 10 minutes live on YouTube, but you can get it anytime you want, including on the WRMF app. We have our regular show and After the Show podcast posted there or wherever you get your podcast apps. Bird, bring it home with your thought for the day.
Maybe life isn't about avoiding the bruises. Maybe it's about collecting the scars to prove we showed up for it.
That's right, baby. There you go.
Love it, Bird.
It's good.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.